I know my destiny. 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 I know my destiny.
YouTube audience to the arena. Welcome to NODWIN Valorant Challenges South Asia, driven by Hyundai, and our styling partner is Philips OneBlade. Today, you guys are going to be watching MLT Esports versus Aster Army. Both these teams need this win. MLT Esports, unfortunately for them, it's an inconsequential match because they already have 3 losses, and winning this match won't solidify their chances in the playoffs. But they definitely want to go out in style. They want to go out by making a loud statement, and since they've got nothing to lose, you might just see them play in a very fearless way today. They might just be unchained beasts. For Aster Army, on the other hand, they have 2 wins in the tournament so far. Both their games that they have played on were 3 map affairs, and if they are able to win today as well, then they would easily secure their spot in the playoffs.
That's what they're fighting for, or maybe even a first seed from their whole group. That is something that is realistic right now for Team Aster Army, because they've taken down the 2, I'd say, the most prominent teams in their group. And now it is a game against Metal, and then you have a game against Godlike. So it is very possible that Aster Army be seed number 1 from Group B. That is, I think, what Aster is aiming for. Metal, on the other hand, it is a different team that is playing right now as compared to the previous series. But I think this is them coming back to all the fights that they were comfortable with. And they will be lethal. They will be lethal. Again, maps are going to be a big concern on which map these teams feel comfortable. Metal are yet to find a home, I'd say, in terms of their selection, because Icebox was the map that they used to play early on. But it has been taken away from the map veto. But now Metal need to find a new home, need to find a new map, which is that particular map for today. That's what we are waiting to see.
I really think MLT Esports should pick up Split, or maybe Aster Army is gonna ban it or something. Up until now, Aster Army have had all these 3-mapper series, and the only time they have lost is when they played on Split. So maybe Metal can use that information against them. Although, for the YouTube audience who's just tuning in now, here's a little trivia, here's a little piece of information. Aster Army have changed up their IGL. It used to be Kohli who was calling the shots before, but now it's Doxer who's IGLing for the team. And this is quite interesting because it's Doxer going up against Hacker. I'll tell you a little piece of information between these 2 players. Back in the day, I guess somewhere in July of last year, we were all a part of a project called ROG Academy. I was the manager of the team and Hacker was coaching. When we picked up the roster, we took Doxer as the IGL, and out of that entire project, Doxer was the first person to find his way to a professional team. At that point, Aster Army was called a Nardi Army, and when he found a role on that team, we were instantly proud of him. And now that he's back to the IGLing duties, now that he's back to his natural element, Aster Army just looks so much more comfortable. Kohli looks so much more comfortable because he has been allowed to flank, he has been allowed to take over his own fragging responsibilities than running for the entire team. And Doxer, he can manage the cerebral capabilities as well as the shooting bit all by himself. So that's actually quite promising for Aster Army. Went 2-0 so far in the series. Yes, they have dropped a couple maps, they've dropped Split twice, but if they are able to win this one, this will be a 3-0 record for them, and they will jump to the top of their groups.
A juicy map beat over here. Aster instantly going on and bans Lotus, and Metal answer back with a bind ban. Now you have Split in the mix, and as you correctly pointed out, Crips, we might see Metal picking that map only because Aster are not comfortable on it. Aster go for the staple pick of Ascend. They're like, yeah, we know, we feel comfortable, we have been winning some games on this map. Let's try it out as the very first game of the day. But what? Wait a minute. Metal have selected Fracture, a map which requires immense teamwork, but then again, with that jet, you can really wreak havoc on this map.
This is actually quite an amazing map, Vito. I did not see Fracture coming. Honestly, I really thought that MLT Esports would go for something along the lines of a Split, since their opponents have shown clear weaknesses on it. And I'm gonna be honest, they haven't really played Fracture in this entire Split. So this is a bit of a surprise from MLT Esports, you know. Hey,
It is.
forget about the split. I don't think they've played Fracture in the entire tournament. Okay, no wait, never mind. They have. They did play it in the open qualifier of Split 1. But that was just an open qualifier game. And I think I can see why they did this. In Split 1, during the open qualifiers, MLT Esports and Aster Army used to be called Anadi Army at that time. They fought against each other. And of course, since this was a very different team, very different name as well, they both did not know about each other's tendency. And at that time, MLT Esports defeated Aster Army 13-5 on Fracture. But that was all the way in March. It's like mid of May now. Is a 2-month-old game gonna be enough to give you enough context as to how do you want to go about this match? We will have to wait and watch. And the only other team that, the only other time MLT Esports actually played Fracture throughout the entire tournament was against Orangutan in Split 1 during the regulation phase. So I hope that they're able to get this one to work. But for now, we will be starting off on Ascent. The agent selections offer nothing really significant. Yeah, we do see a Cypher instead of a Killjoy, which can be a bit of a surprise every now and then. But it's Marzel and he's been comfortable on the Cypher. So let's be honest, we've seen much wilder stuff from teams like Reckoning on Ascent.
Let's see how does this game pan out. Now, Aster are going towards this execute from the rip of it. Although they just threw a flash and Aduka shows his presence with that updraft out aim. And for some reason they stop and are trying to re-hit and re-clear the one-way smoke that has been thrown A main. There is another smoke out A main, and now this will stop the push. They are a little bit paranoid about all these angles. Although middle, they haven't taken any space on the map on the back of it, so they were playing mid heavy, and now will have to play retake on this A side. And Aduka, being the jet pain, being the aggressive player that he is, wants to play the rat angle. That is a very bad angle to play with. I mean, very bad angle to clear around, because you really do not expect a player to do something like that. And easy. Ready gets one. Dogzer even falls. Now Medal jumping into the side. Yes, Marzel is good for one. But now in the retake situation, Medal are suddenly favored in terms of number. The spike tap comes in. Fox is able to rack up a couple with the frenzy. And Medal are able to win the pistol round.
These smoke reclays for MLT Esports are so dangerous. I mean, I can see why Aduka wanted to make that play. It's a fair retake situation, so you might as well try to get your team an advantage by playing in a very cheeky spot. But 3 people peek him at the same time. Instant death. Same with Marzel. He was playing in hell, and as soon as one person decided to reveal himself, the other 2 jumped up from above. Instant triple peek, and Marzel's taken off. Same with Kishi. He was just trying to shoot from the smoke on A main. Instantly gets peeked by 2 different people. So MLT Esports are just keeping these trades really, really clean.
Now, it is a bonus round. I mean, there shouldn't be really much trouble for the players of Team Metal to convert the round, and Tricky is just farming.
Spike down mid.
We were missing this guy. At least I was missing this guy for so very long. Although Kohli gets one, and even the tag on the form. Molly will get the job done. The Nate gets that frag confirmation. Although Dogzer will get one for his troubles. Now let's see, Dogzer. Anything extra? Anything more? Nothing. Easy. Speaks out B main, gets the frag, and Team MLT Esports. They get their second round.
Quite a stylish round from Tricky now, wasn't it? I mean, I understand that you don't have a lot of armor, so it is easy for him to clean you up. And with this, he's also very close to his ultimate. But now finally, Aster Army will have their weapons, will have a buy, and they can definitely have a say in this round.
There will be weapons all around. And as the army, they have been forced to play on harsh shields, I think, considering that some of the players did upgrade in the previous round. We saw a Sheriff, we saw a Frenzy. The remaining players were not able to even create an impact because Tricky just got all the frags. And this time around, Jay just doing Sova things. Although the weapon is not very Sova-like, you usually see either a Odin or an Ares in that angle. This time around it was a Guardian. But now Tricky, he has been pinned down to a single squad, and Aster exactly know where he is, and Aduka will take care of him. That's the opening the Team Aster needed. No, Marcel is still holding the flank with all his tripwires and all the setup he has in this particular position. It is a very weird tripwire setup. And he's trying to play anti-shock dart in that position in terms of the trip. And instantly drops the cage, falls back, and Aster looking to re-hit mid.
Yeah, and it's going to be quite an aggressive hit. Alarm bot gets broken, so will the door. It gets kicked down, but easy. He's able to find one and fall back to safety as well. The paranoia hit him square in the face, but it still doesn't really stop him. And from this backside, even JE is putting up quite a defense. Goalie with the double is able to get something done, but now Aster Army are reconsidering their options. They might not even hit the B site, and they're already on their way out. Goalie defending the defender spawn, and he's probably going to be responsible for cutting someone's rotation off. And since he's already low on HP, he might as well just try to catch them by surprise. Meanwhile, Doxer, the healthy one, is supposed to get everything done. It's Goalie's chance to shine. They do clear him, but Easy still gets the shot off.
What?
Wow, that was a ridiculous wall bang. No assistance from the recon, nothing else. It's just the little minimap icon that his teammate spotted, and he fires over there. Amazing game sense by JE.
That's the second frag he got this round. Exactly in the same way. One from backboard house with the Guardian, he spammed off I think Tricky, who was trying to fall back from market, and this time around he gets the second frag too. That's just crazy. Now knows where Doxer is, but Doxer, perfect timing, perfect swing, and Aster, they take a lot of damage, but at least they're able to convert the round at last. They will still be able to purchase into the round with half shields and stuff like that. But yeah, MLT Esports, great economy damage done in the round.
One enemy remaining.
That's true. I would consider 4 kills on a bonus round like this a big win. But for the team of Aster Army, I also had to appreciate the spontaneity. The moment they realized that MLT Esports are actually racking up quite a lot of defense on B, they cut their losses short and fell back pretty quickly. That's great. Flash and dash. Marzel will be boiled alive, and if that wasn't enough, even Easy pushes in from the other side. This is a massive crunch from MLT Esports. And within a matter of seconds, the round is done. So many players pushing out of B main, and many more even following up from mid link. What a crunch.
My god, what a round from the side of team MLT Esports. They realized that it was always Marzel who was lurking around outside B. They did not think, I'd say, that there were more than one player in that particular spot. But the flashes, they were just perfect. Especially the one through B main. I mean, the first flash was great and all because it blinded Marzel. Tricky was able to get in, get the frags, get the job done. But the second follow-up flash to push the remaining 3 players of Team Aster Army away from that spot was just great. And now JE has the better weapon, although Marzel is looking to challenge with his Sheriff.
Yeah, and Aster Army can be quite deadly with just these sheriffs too. Aduka has the Phantom, so he will be responsible for getting some damage done. But he gets stacked, put in the bounty bag quite easily. Dogs are looking to challenge as well, but doesn't land a single shot. So Aster Army are still keeping it a little competitive. They'd still try to fight, even though they're lacking weaponry. Cheeky and what the hell finally gets traded out by Aduka, but Fox is right there to save the day.
All protocol directives satisfied.
It was 1v1s offered to the MLT Esports on all grounds, on all sides of the map, and they are able to win it. The only individual duel that was not taken was the second duel with the player under Reven, where both the players speak together and they get a frag. Look at this right here. They get a frag. But other than that, it was all isolated duels, and with weaker weaponries, it is better to stick together and maybe try and trade each other out. That not being the case for Aster, they lose another round and medal jump up to 4.
Medal indeed jump up to 4, but this is giving me some PTSD, bro. Every time MLT Esports start on ascent, they start in a similar fashion. They start 4-0, 4-1, and that's when the opponents start making a comeback. Is that going to be the case this time as well? Oh, he was droning. The shot will land on his feet, but the crunch from mid-market is already here. At least Easy deals with it.
Wow.
Although Kishi will answer right back, and this is quite a good statement. He escapes from there just in the nick of time as soon as Fox was about to clear him.
Now runs into the side. They will get the spike down. and because of the null command,
Spike
there won't be
planted.
Fox's null command for any time soon. But now the retake is coming in from B main. The knife will reveal at least one player's location. I think both the players are suppressed. So now Medal know that what is coming, how the retake is going to happen. And Tricky with a great ulti use, but then Kohli with the Hunter's Fury and Doxer with his Phantom will close out the round. They had such a great start, Team Medal, to the round, but then Kishi comes in, gets the 2 frags, and even stops the retake from happening. Great recovery from Team Aster Army.
Exactly. I mean, I even appreciate what Doxer did over there. He knew that his teammate needed help on B instantly, and at the same time, MLT Esports were about to clear him by pushing out of the catwalk region. So he just used the ultimate to go directly towards the back of B side and alleviate a lot of pressure over there. MLT Esports were putting up quite some resistance over here. The frags from Easy were amazing. And yes, Kishi did a great job of trying to clear out things, but Tricky diving right back inside threw the round into a state of chaos. And in a situation like that, Doxer can provide some stability.
Technical timeout though. The gear should be fixed very, very soon. But till now, as you were saying, 4-1 lead for Team Medal Esports. But as soon as we say that Medal do have a good footing into the game in at least half number 1, they instantly lose a round that they should have won. They got the 2 frags early on, but then somehow even are not able to trade out. Or maybe a little bit, I'd say, lack of presence of mind in that situation. The first player being picked off. He tried to force the fight B main, gets taken down by the market player, and then Kishi just snaps onto the second too. So it is a good way to find the round, but Aster, that was not a strategic win at all. I mean, yes, you were there for the split. Now you have realized that the alarm bot is the only thing that watches Pizza region. But this time around, the setup from Medal is a little bit different. You have both the players playing 8-3. The side is completely left open, and the Nano Swarms are for 3-2. So they are ready to play retake on A because Easy has a lockdown. And to defend it, you have all the Killjoy utility available except for the turret. And Aster, let's see if they're ready for this or not. Marzil is coming in for a late A-shot lurk, and Aster will fall back. But both the mollies are positioned out A main. Now, the KO molly will be thrown in, but Aduka won't be able to get that frag. The flash and then the smoke as well has put Team Aster in a very difficult spot. Even the flank gets caught off guard, and Medal perfectly strategized the round and will easily be able to win it out.
So Tricky. Well, that's a cool way to finish off the round. I appreciate what Aster Army tried to do over there, but the lockdown was their undoing. And they even had plans to break that lockdown, you know. You had the fragment lined up from Kishi, Kohli used the shock darts, and they both should have been ideally able to break the lockdown, but it just simply wasn't possible. And due to that, Aster Army had no choice but to relinquish all that area and fall towards A main, a position from where they won't be able to shoot down all the members of MLT Esports who are just staring down at them. And when you've got 5 guns pointed at a narrow choke point from different angles, it's really difficult to isolate those fights as well. So Aster Army had no say in that round at all. Medal was kind of destined to win that one. But they are able to get that win on the back of a massive ultimate. What's going to happen when Aster Army unleash ultimates of their own?
That's a question. That's a good question indeed. But this time around, I was not happy by the way that Team Aster Army approached the round. They get in. As soon as they tapped the spike, they knew that the lockdown has been initiated. It would have been better to maybe stop the plant, let 1 or 2 players get detained, and the remaining fight outside A main, so that they are able to just support the players inside. Or maybe if they want to go in with the plan, the 2 nanos could have been thrown on spike to delay and buy some time. Marzil could have taken 5 or 6 more seconds to join in from a shot. Then you had the shock darts available on the spike, not on the lockdown instead. But everything just went like Team Medal wanted it to go. There were no mollies available on the spike. All of the players were just in that little pocket that is left outside A-Vine, and Medal were easily able to clean up everyone.
Yeah, I mean, the lack of a Killjoy in Aster Army means that you won't be able to plant those mollies on the spike. And the one molly that Kishi had was also used on the lockdown itself. It didn't line up properly, otherwise maybe you could have broken the lockdown. Now, Aster Army once again are trying to go towards mid, and this time the alarm bot setup has been placed on mid yet again. The KJ setup just keeps on changing from Easy. Sometimes he puts it on mid, sometimes he puts a microwave setup towards catwalk. This time, the alarm bot will mark mid, and it's been broken already. And the rest of the nanos are towards B main entrance, which also is being marked by this AWP. And Tricky will be able to deal with them quite effectively. He's repositioned as well, really well, to stop the incoming hit from Market as well. Now, Kishi can probably flash out and maybe challenge the AWP, but instead they're falling back. Aster Army have quite a lot of presence all across this area. Aduka is marking A main. At the same time, you showed presence outside of B
30
main.
seconds left.
And while the spike is falling back towards Scat, Marzel is lurking towards Market.
Aduka needed to connect that shot. But him not being able to find that frag, now Aster will be in a little bit of trouble. Now Kohli is able to get one and even the second. You don't peek that Jay without support.
Spike planted.
He has made a mistake, and let's see if Team Aster are able to punish Medal on the back of it. Now Fox, he is playing very sneaky and is trying to get in. Marzel again with the lurk is able to get another frag. Now Kohli, he isn't expecting the player till now, and Fox will be able to get that frag instead. Now Kishi is inside and Tricky is also flanking, and Marzel has all this information because he has come in from spawn. White swing takes Fox down, puts Tricky in a 1v2. It is definitely a tricky situation, but if someone can clutch this out, it is tricky from Team MLT Esports. Gets the first, but is not able to spray transfer. Great picks from Team Aster Army, and I'd say a rookie mistake coming in that has led to Team Medal losing that particular round.
I mean, Metal at least were trying to make some preemptive moves of their own. The fact that they're able to come in from a main, and I was surprised that Fox even managed to survive that entire encounter, you know, when he was trying to get out of the doorway on Switch, and somehow avoids Kishi entirely, manages to make his way across towards a main, where he then finds the kill onto JE. I really thought that he's gonna die over there, because it's all a matter of timing. But since Marzel was on that massive lurk, Middle Esports positions were all given away quite easily. And this time Aster Army are going for a really fast A main hit, even though most of them have been detected by the 0 point. Marzel, as always, will be lurking towards mid, and he finds the kill. The flash is perfect, but he's only able to get one on the back of it. Aduka gets the trade instantly. JE whips out the Hunter's Fury. This should definitely get them a kill or two, but they're still losing their members. Aduka continues to create problems.
Marzel on the lurk is a headache to deal with for Team Medal. Easy. Pushing through the smoke, gets one, gets the second.
No way.
Two. And Marzel is nowhere near the spike. Now this could be troublesome. The spike tap comes in, the smoke fades out too. Now, they exactly know where Marzel is. The double peek comes in. And that sneaky play from Easy helps them win the round.
Good stuff from Easy. I mean, it wasn't as much of a sneaky play as it was a bold statement. It does take a lot of guts to push out like that, you know, especially when you're all by yourself. And we've been seeing this quite a lot from the players of MLT Esports, you know. At one point, it was JE trying to push out. No, sorry, not JE. It was Fox trying to push out like that. And then Easy makes a similar move by pushing out of the smoke on Tree. Now, you don't see that a lot. And even when you do see it, you don't see it being so successful. MLT Esports really throwing Aster Army a couple of curveballs which they don't anticipate.
Aster Army, a round which would have been theirs has been now snatched away. Let's see how do they answer right back. Now Aduka is ready for a flash A shot. I think the molly will clear some close, and the molly will stop the players from kind of getting in, and then Fox. Beautiful flash, and the follow-up paranoia is even better. Tricky even pushes through mid lane to get another frag onto Marzel, and that's another shot down. Aster, they try to exploit mid, they get punched in the face.
Oh, and he's trapped now. He's got players coming in from spawn, high mid as well. MLT Esports go for a flawless aggression from the get-go. Amazing flash to start things off. Fox blinds two people with perfect timing, and Aster Army, as soon as they're able to climb catwalk, they get this blindness in their eyes. And just as they recover from Fox's first flash, even the paranoia is thrown in by Kakarot, which just helps him get so many more kills. And all the remaining stragglers of Aster Army were so separated from each other, they had no choice but to give up their lives. MLT Esports pushing them to their limits, pushing right out of spawn, literally into attacker spawn. You know, there's nowhere left for Aster Army to go.
Oh, this time though, once again this fight. This is, I think, the third time the Marzel is winning against Tricky in this position. And he has also been able to recover a weapon. Will destroy the alarm bot because he knows that the tendency for Medalist to leave it completely open. They defend towards the side. Now, Aduka spots the player, tries to just dodge off the molly, and now Fox is playing a cheeky angle. Kohli on the other side of the map is able to get one, and Marcel takes care of Fox. Now both the players are stuck in the B side. The spike is being run towards the A side. And Aster, they just answer right back. They win a thrifty of their own.
Aster Army, this is the second time they're pulling off an adjustment where they start the round with a B hit but then end up in A.
Enemy remaining.
Easy execution from Aduka. But like I said, Aster Army have done this in the past, you know. Even last time they tried something similar, they found success. Aster Army tried to go for a mid to market hit, and it was once again Marzel who started things off. But then as soon as he realized that MLT Esports have quite a lot of players positioned towards the back of B, they just instantly transitioned to a short hit. This time as well, they find out that information after you have the jet floating in the sky. Aduka is able to spot two of them. He even sees the lockdown, so MLT Esports realize, hey, A must be somewhat defenseless right now. And the remaining members of MLT Esports were in the process of just transitioning over towards the B side, rotating over. So as long as Aster Army are able to catch them in the middle of that rotate, they will be able to get all those kills. And that's exactly what happened. To deal with the lockdown, instead of falling back, Marzel went deeper into its defender spawn. Now you don't see that often, but that's a brave push out from Marzel.
This time around, there are 3 ultimates to work with. So I thought that it could have been a fast execute towards one of these sides where the null command gets popped out. But I think they're comfortable hitting through a shot. Now there will be presence out A main too. They will have a player Doxer who will still be outside A main. They spotted 2, I think. They spotted 2 players A shot. Now the flashes are being thrown in. Fox on the back of that Hunter's Fury is not able to do anything. Doxer with the frag, and Kohli cleans up Kakarot. Good execute from Team Aster RV. Medal were not wiser enough to adapt according to it, and now probably will drop the round.
Aster Army, good frag so far, but Easy starts off with yet another nice one, only to get shut down by the firing squad on Aster Army. Great recovery from them as well. Given the fact that MLT Esports had a 4-round lead at the start of this entire map, a 7-5 half is actually quite respectable from Aster Army. But is this going to be enough to net them the win on Ascent? You guys will have to find out in the second half after this short break. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
Hit for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
Bro, fridge meat के लिए, heat के लिए नहीं. Bro, this graphics card is making my frames drop. Come with me if you wanna game.
The all-new Omen 16 with advanced Tempest cooling technology, now with 5 heat pipes and 4 thermal outlets. The Omen 16 with 12th Gen Intel Core i7 processor to make you forget your frame drops.
Now that's cool.
Game on with Tempest cooling.
Presenting Hyundai i20 N-Line. It's time to play.
Yes, I'm a Gen Z. Or should I say, the Gen Next. And I don't let fear hold me back from doing anything. I choose to move fearlessly to it all.
Hey buddy, we need you to trim your beard for this next scene.
What? Okay, fine, I'll admit it. I move fearlessly in most things, but I draw the line here. What if I Nico cut myself?
Try this.
Phillips.
Hit for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Omen Valorant Challenges South Asia, driven by Hyundai, and our starting partner is Philips One Blade. We are currently in the middle of Ascent. this is a match between MLT Esports as well as Aster Army. And even though MLT Esports started off this game in a very good way, they were starting with a 4-round lead. I think Aster Army have done a decent job of trying to cover up the scoreline and bring it to 7-5. But while MLT Esports has a chance of winning this, you also have a chance of winning the Philips One Blade. All you need to do is scan this QR code and you stand a chance to win the beautiful Philips One Blade. Give it a try.
7-5. That's where we are at. And as you said, it was a great recovery coming in from Team Aster Army, considering that they were down 4-1. A 7-5 half is a great thing to have. Now, it seemed like more of an 8-4 half, but somehow Aster were able to pull a couple of thrifties and are able to get their tally all the way up to 5. And now I'd like to see Marcel play that Cypher. See, the previous two series we did see Marcel on Cypher, but he was not that convincing. Today though, he has been hitting some crazy insane shots. And on the back of it, in the first half, he has been able to rack up 7 frags. Do we see some insane setups too at the same time? Let's find out. He is playing, I'd say, very 300 IQ because all his setup is towards either B or mid pizza region, so that even if he gets suppressed, the hit still can be stopped with the number advantage on this side.
It's quite a slow round now, isn't it? Nobody making even a single peek. And as soon as they cover the distance towards 3, they're gonna barge in. Cloudburst to make sure that the Sova can't peek, but the shock dart lands directly on their feet. And Doxer is keeping it clean. Nice shots. And even Marcel comes in from behind. MLT Esports get completely crunched.
It was a split from Aster, or was it an A split from Metal? Because there were players behind their back. They did not clear that A shot smoke, A tree smoke. The players just creeped out of it, and then Frenzy just goes burr in the pistol round. That's what just happened. Marcel pushes the smoke, gets a couple of frags. But the first 2 frags from Doxer were just clean. We did not see the first one tap, but the second one, player running through smoke out in the open. Oh, that was a crazy shot. And Metal will be forced to just maybe upgrade some pistols here on. Jay is somehow buying an armor with a classic. That's a weird purchase. Let's see if it works for them or gives them any sort of economy advantage on the back of that Arc shield.
Luka doesn't care about any of that. He's looking to get some heads. Peeking out of the smoke that's been placed by Doxer. I'm sorry, not by Doxer, by Kakarot. Now, he will be able to spot a couple people high mid, and these frags shouldn't be a problem for him, especially because his opponents are unarmored. The Sheriff, I'm sorry, not the Sheriff, the Marshal can just easily get frags. But speaking of easy, he snuck up towards Market, and Aduka's marking this angle once again. There's just simply no escaping this guy.
Here.
There is a trip, so they are looking to just blast out of this position. But yeah, Marcel, he's able to clean up shop. Fox does not even get one in Aster Army. They win a flawless. They keep all the weapons, and the only investment that has to be done is by Marcel and in their shields. That's about it. So a good round, a great round from Team Aster Army, plus a very important pistol to make sure that the scoreline becomes equal. And 7-7, yes, Metal will have a bye, but let's see if Team Aster Army are able to counter it this time around.
Amazing stuff. It was quite funny to see them try getting under Marcel's tripwire. They were wondering if he's placed it high enough for them to sneak underneath. Especially when there's dark cover over there, I think it's worth a try. I mean, you didn't have too much of a chance of winning that round. You didn't have weaponry either, so might as well try to figure out the weaknesses in Marcel's setup.
Camera taken.
Flashpoint, there aren't any, at least not now. Oh, but Aduka getting bamboozled over there, crosshair position not appropriate enough, and Easy gets that frag. Well, this is a bonus round for Aster Army, so they're not expected to win, but if they can get some frags, it definitely would be worth it.
The one-way delayed them for a little bit, but then the frags all flow in the way of Team MLT Esports. They all came out at the same time as well, and nobody was caught in the tripwire. So that's how Team Metal enter into the side. They get all the frags done, but it was against the lure by. And now Kishi and Kohli looking for any sorts of exits that they can get. They just want to deny this flawless is all they want. Now there is no one market, and the door has already been closed, so Kishi cannot do much about it. Maybe give your life from the spike rather than dying from a player who can then collect alt orbs. Plus, let's not die to JE because he's just 2 away from Utter's Fury. So that's something you can consider over here. Kishi playing inside the smoke, try to be cheeky. Let's see if he's even able to get one. JE gets a frag. Yeah, so Kishi is able to deny the flawless. Take at least one rifle out of the hands of Team Medal. But yeah, Medal win the round. 8th one on the board.
Well, this game is actually quite competitive now, isn't it? MLT Esports hit them right back. And after that 7-5 half, both these teams are separated by only 1 round. Medal, knowing that Aster Army don't have much of weaponry, they will move into the round fearlessly. And they don't lose too many players either, so the economy can now start to snowball. Although Aster Army have the dangerous weapons now. They've got the AWP and the Odin. The big weapons are out. And MLT Esports better watch their backs. There's no smoke towards high mid, and that's partially because they want to let Aduka have all these frags. There will be a smoke put down towards the bottom of mid though by many people, hoping that they can avoid the AWP, but now that they discover where the AWP is, they will quickly want to hit the B side as quickly as possible before the AWP can arrive, but they don't deal with the recon and they pay the price for it.
What a round from Team Aster Army. Although it is still not over. We still have players of Aster stuck inside. Kakarot spotted down, but Jay pushes the smoke, gets one, and even Fox chimes in for another frag. Wait a minute. Aster Army, they still are not completely out of dangerous waters, because if this goes to a post-plant situation, Aduka has an operator. Kishi has been tagged to 56 HP. Now the round still hangs in balance, and Medal, they are making a run towards the A side. Although Kishi will be the first one to reach and has 2 flashes to maybe delay some time or even get a frag on the back of it. But let's see how does he want to play this one out. They've already spotted him on the A side, so I don't think they will be expecting him under heaven of all places. And Aster Army, an important round, a round where there was heavy investment. Let's see if they're able to convert it or not.
He tries to make a dive for it, but Kakarot stops planting in the right time. He heard the footstep. He knew Kishi has a very little timing window. He wanted to avoid the 0 point and wanted to get inside quickly enough. But Kakarot hears the footsteps of Aduka dropping down, and he knows there's going to be a shorty on this operator. So he doesn't give him the range. He doesn't give him the distance. He gets dived on, but Doxer finishes up. Fox, very low on HP. A single bullet should be able to deal with him. And Doxer's on a mission. He knows he's low on ammo, and he tries to dive inside, but Fox recovers really well. MLT Esports pull off a 2v3.
Oh, it was a 3v5 to start off with, Crips. You got those 2 frags. Mars and spam through the smoke, gets 1. Kohli spams through the wall, gets 1. And after that, Medal are able to recover. Look at how much HP Tricky has. And still Aster Army, through the spam, somehow through everything, are able to net the round. I know Doxer had it in the bag. He could have gotten it to half. The call was there that the last player is super low, maybe just 20-25 HP. The classic was out, but the right click was not found. And that's how Team Medal are able to win another round. Put Aster on that eco, but you still cannot count them out. Aster, they have been hitting some crazy shots with the Sheriff.
They have to do it once again. Nano swarms and smokes to keep them away from the action as MLT Esports flood into the site. The spams to the smoke may or may not connect. Some chip damage will be dealt, but MLT Esports will get into the site regardless. And in case Aster Army are about to make it close, in case things start to go south, JE has a Hunter's Fury just to keep things competitive, just to give them that edge.
The problem here is the post-plant position from Team Medal is not good at all. You only have 1 player B main and the remaining players are stuck on site. Now, you are buying time, you are throwing those flashes, but Kishi, if he's able to get this frag, this could be huge. And Aduka just jumps in. That is a weapon retrieved and all the players of Team Medal are on site. And this is something that Aster has knowledge about, but Kakarot, with the spam, is able to take down Doxer. He has been reduced to 29 HP. Kishi, blind as a bat. That's the reason he does not survive. And from behind, Tricky and Fox, able to get the frags. Although Aduka cleans up shop, he is able to get all the frags, but the round still goes in Medal's favor.
Yeah, Medal win this round, but at what cost? They gave away so many guns to Aster Army and lost all of theirs in the process. So they pay a steep price for this one. And now that Aster Army know that they've cleared out Medal's economy, they don't have much money to work with, they take this tactical timeout. If they are able to win the next round, MLT Esports will be successfully broken their economy will be in shambles once more. MLT Esports can afford weapons one last time, but after that, they will need to keep winning in order to afford them once more. So this is a crucial round. This round could tip the balance of the game. Aster Army not only have a chance to make it to 10-8, but also push the game to 10-9, because Aster Army, they have the chance to break Metal's economy. And if they do it now at this crucial moment, it could stop the momentum.
Ooh, important timeout for Team Aster Army. Now it is their map pick, and all these rounds have been so one-dimensional from both these teams. It is either the round either goes Metal's way or Aster Army's way. There's no in between except for the round where there was an Odin involved. These are clean hits coming in from the side of Team MLT Esports, and they go one way. They do not prefer to rotate. They do not prefer to set themselves up. They just barge into the side. And the perfect answer would be an operator to plays like these, but then you have to make the correct prediction of positioning yourself at the correct point to receive players. And again, I'd say that Luka is not in the right position to use it off. Now Tricky smoked off. The one way is great. It will buy some time. But essentially, Metal just disrespected because you haven't shown any sort of presence with the one way of yours. Luka pushing in through, has a camera set up, spots the player up top. But you cannot get that frag on the basis of the gun barrel. He just wants Kakarot to peek so bad. He is completely focused upon him, but he's not peeking. Now at some point he will have to pull out his smoke. So at that is the moment I think he will have to get that shot connected. But Aster, they are so close to find that opening frag, but they miss it out because the player just runs away. Kakarot just runs away and is joining towards that B side.
No, the turret spots him out. Aduka takes a couple of shots from the turret, and then Easy realizes, hold on, he's made this push before. He's gonna push here again, and he wide swings to throw his aim off.
Execute though. Started. Kakarot into this side. Kohli just gets completely danced upon.
30
Dash
seconds
up
left.
draft. Throw this crosshair away, and now Doxer will be caught in a reload. You won't even know Tricky is this close. MLT Esports are in a very good spot right now though. Marzil, with the help of Kohli's recon, is able to get one. The shock darts also dealing decent damage, and Kohli is the one who has to bail this team out. 12 seconds on the clock. The spike has to go down, and he's not looking in the right direction. And then Kakarot helps him out. In a 1v3, Marzil with 5 HP. This looks like a dream for him if he's able to pull it off. But the turret would be his worst enemy, I think. He'll go down to the turret. Oh, thank God. Kakarot is the one who gets that frag, and MLT Esports just 2 rounds away from getting the first map in their favor.
This is great. MLT Esports need this win. They need to take a scent for themselves, because Fracture is going to be a very wild one, and you can't leave anything up to chance. Such amazing setups from Marzil. They keep running into his tripwires. Even the timing of JE's recon darts has been amazing so far, and every single time Aster Army are able to ping people down through the smokes, they do find the frags, but still not the round. MLT Esports continue to win. Aster Army have certain things that are working for them. The win conditions are established, but MLT Esports have been ignoring those and literally running them down.
He misses the shot. Although Kohli, these shock darts, do they deal enough damage? No, they do not. Now you to evacuate the site. 5 seconds on the clock. Aduka's position revealed. You cannot do much about this. Execute now. The player still backside is.
Enemy kill.
He does not get detained somehow. He finds a pocket where he survives. Let's see if he's able to do any sort of damage. Easy. Plays that off angle perfectly. Although Marzil and Doxer find a frag, and you never knew Kohli was backside. It is all down to Kakarot suddenly, and a round which was looking like Metal were favored in turns on its head. Kakarot in a 1v3.
Yeah, this is nearly done and dusted. Spikes in an irrecoverable spot. If he had his ultimate, he probably could have yoinked it from the shadows. But in this round, there's really not much that he can do. Unless he can find all these isolated fights, which is an impossibility, there's no chance. Marzil is toying with him, closes the door on his face, and as soon as he runs out of bullets, Doxer will deliver the killing blow, but no! Kakarot somehow survives that!
Both are low. Both
Everyone's low.
HP. I will see that off angle you never expect, right? And Aster Army, they're able to win the round, plus recover that operator too. So that is something for Aduka to work with. And look at Metal's economy. It's not great, They have to eco this round now.
Yeah. What a round this was from Aster Army. Just 1 second and all of them die. They just choose to hold these off angles, and as soon as MLT Esports have a blanket of security, it's stripped away from them by the cold hands of Aster Army. These hands, they will need to be much more lethal, much more deadly in order to survive this map. MLT Esports just 1 away from map point. Have all that they need to finish up this game. Except for weapons, probably. And they will go for a force buy. They are hoping that they will get enough momentum. No KJ setup or no setup towards the backsides as well. So MLT Esports don't have anything in case there's a backstab from Aster Army, but they're just hoping that the pace would be strong enough. It's not. Aster Army just completely shut them down.
Valid attempt, I'd say, from Team Aster, from Team MLT Esports. But yeah, they expected this to be hit coming in, and Easy was the person who was responsible for sort of a lurk play. He never got a chance to even fight. Put in a 1v5 with just a Spectre, you cannot expect much from the guy. And now Aster is in a very weird spot. This gun round becomes very important, of paramount importance. And guess what? Aster Army are even ahead in terms of ulti economy. They have the Hunter's Fury ready, they have the Null Command for Kishi ready too. Now, Fox can get one orb and get that Null Command for himself, and I think on the back of it, they are looking to execute onto this A side. But look at the adaptation from Marzel. Throws a tripwire A shot, instantly rotates away so that if this A hit comes in, his utility is still there to help his teammate out. Now, that is a very great read from the side of Team Aster, and let's see if it pans out exactly as they think or not.
Ready to hit them like a truck. Just waiting for MLT Esports to walk into that choke, but they give up on the idea. They do make a lot of noise, which draws in the rotations. Kohli has arrived unseen. But since MLT Esports are taking their sweet time to hit B again, and because Easy hasn't really been making all that much noise, Aster Army should be able to figure out that Metal are peeling away from this site. Now, this is also quite interesting. You take a look at where Marzel's playing and where his utility is. His tripwires are all the way on A, but he's playing on B. And in this way, even though the Null Command gets popped and Marzel gets suppressed, his trip will be still active. But look at the Hunter's Fury from Kohli. A triple piece. That's amazing. Yes, they'll be able to get Fox back up online, but Easy and Tricky are deep in their graves.
My god, what a Hunter's Fury. It hit all 5, but wait. We've seen rounds like these being faltered from Team Aster, and once again the numbers get equalized. 4 HP for Kakarot, 45 for Jay. Kishi is there inside. The molly will do damage, but Jay just runs over it. Now Aduka with that operator won't get anything because Kakarot finds his head. The drone will tag him and force him back. Aster there once again faltering. A 3v5 round, and they find themselves at a 2v3 situation. A post plant where the spike will also count as an enemy now.
Suppressing.
Last player standing.
Oh, but Aster Army, they redeem themselves. Kishi gets a frag, Dogzer gets 1-2, and now Kakarot left with his 4. Gets 1. In a 1v1, Dogzer knows exactly where the player is. Gets the frag. Oh my god, was it too close to comfort. I thought that the round was almost snatched away from Aster's hand. But Dogzer, the saving grace, the final frag flows their way, and once again, Metal deep down in debt, do not have enough money to get a purchase into this round. But what a Hunter's Fury from Kohli. It hit all 5 players, was able to take down 3, but just because of the Null Command, Fox was brought back online. And suddenly Metal feel the pressure, call for a timeout.
That was indeed a very, very sweaty round. The Hunter's Fury indeed was brilliant. And yeah, this should have been enough to secure them the win, but it still came down to the wire. Aster Army just simply not letting go. I really appreciate the setup that they've gone for over here. I was about to point out before that Hunter's Fury was popped that Marzel is placing his tripwires on the other side and playing somewhere else, and this is because there is a KO on the other side as well, you know. In case Marzel gets suppressed, his tripwires will still be active towards the other side of the map. And that's exactly why you have varying utility places, especially when you have a Cypher on your team. Unlike the Killjoy, where you're forced to stay along with your utility, the Cypher has all that much wiggle room. So that's why Aster Army are playing in such a spread out fashion, and they're able to intercept Metal Esports before their hits arrive. And Metal had quite an advantage going into this game, but now advantage is more or less gone. And Aster Army have caught up.
Indeed, they have. And look at the buy. A Stinger, a couple of Spectres, and a couple of Sheriffs. That's what they have.
Right here.
And they are setting up Aduka in a position where they just can leave it, get rid of the A-shot player by closing the door, and he just has to survive Aduka. The owl drone won't be able to clear his position. Kishi is the one they spot. Although Aduka takes a shot, misses it, and instantly falls back. Now Tricky, post that, Dogs just knew his exact position. He's able to get 3. All the players that were trying to slot in through a shot get taken down. And that is a shutdown if I've seen one.
Yep, Dogs are shutting the door in their faces. Aster Army catching right back up. Metal Esports have been stopped in their tracks. All these force spies simply not helping their cause at all. And now with a broken economy and broken hearts, they will be forced to deal with the 11-11 equalization. Both the teams are level. And Metal Esports started off this game on the front foot, but now Aster Army have caught up with them.
Careful.
They're just hoping that the AWP in the hands of Aduka will be enough to carry them across the finish line. Meanwhile, Metal Esports will go for the split pushes yet again. Spike outside of A main, and they look to burst out of B link. Although they are aware about Aduka's AWP, so they will take their sweet time peeking out of mid. They're hoping that the smoke will hold them at bay, but Aduka was brave enough to peek once more. At least Kishi's able to spam down and get this frag onto Tricky. That's the danger man out of the equation.
He started off the round with a headshot on Tricky, through the smoke that too, and he's able to even finish off the frag. So that's something great achieved from Team Aster Army in the very early stages of the round. Now the smoke won't matter a lot because JE has already crossed it, and even Aster has that information, so Doxer will just re-smoke A main, try to create that fear in the minds of Team Medal, and as soon as they hit the trip, Doxer hits his left click and is able to find another frag. Marzel will take care of Easy, was trying to sneak in through a shot, and then Doxer gets another.
Nice!
Kakarot though, turning tails, turning heads.
Oh my god!
Get the second too, wait! Oh, never mind. A very anticlimactic finish to the round because Kohli just closes it out with a shock dart.
Match point.
Kishi won't be brought back into the round, but hey, money is not the problem for Aster Army, and Medal once again broke in terms of economy.
Exactly, dude. I mean, Metal had such a good economy going for them with that 4-round win streak in rounds 15 to 18, but after that, Aster Army have been just completely running them down. They have a win streak of their own.
Keep up.
The members of Metal Esports keep getting caught on the tripwires of Marzel, which are always changing positions, and that nets them so many frags.
Yep.
And the only person who was able to get past those tripwires was Kakarot, because he double TP'd his way across to hell. And yes, he got quite a lot of frags from that position, but the shock dart in the end put his shenanigans to an end. Oh, wait, what?
He did not shoot. He thought he clicked, but he did not. That's
that
an
happens.
moment.
That happens sometimes. But look at the position of Kohli. I'm sorry, not Kohli. The position of Kishi. He's already deep down over here. I don't think Metal Esports will realize this.
Do you even clear this angle, Kakarot? I don't think so. You're not looking that way. And
You should run.
What, Kishi? Was he looking at the minimap? I think he was looking at the minimap because the lockdown just got placed, and exactly he got caught napping over there. Now, Medal are going to push, I think, on the back of it, but then there is a lot of position that you need to clear. Doxer still sitting under heaven. The flash does not connect, and Doxer just delivers another 2K. Although Aduka today hasn't been very accurate with his operator, and Doxer even through the smoke spams the player out. He is stuck under heaven, but the support has arrived. From a shot, the players are spamming too. Doxer still wants to have a say. The TP just fakes out Jay. He does not have any idea what is happening around him, and it's all down to Easy to save the life. 13 seconds on the clock. He makes a run to the spike. Will be able to get the spike, but the plant doesn't even come in. You can just throw one player to run him down. The spike goes down. 1v1. Easy gets the healthy player. Now in a 1v1 with Kohli, and he shuts him down. What a 2v1 clutch coming in from Easy. And he keeps Medal in the game. Pushes out to overtime.
What a round was this! Such heroic performances from both the sides. Doxer first, surviving way longer than he was supposed to. The first double kill was amazing, but then he makes a TP across to dodge the lockdown as well as the fragments, and then a fake TP once again to bamboozle JE. That wasn't supposed to happen. And while I say all of that, Easy also wasn't supposed to get so many frags. He was already very low on HP. So this should have been an easy shutdown for the team over here. But no, instead we go into overtime. A quad kill from both these players keeps the game competitive, and it gives us the first overtime. This might not be the last one.
Ooh, Medal though. The adjustment over here, they have again got tricky out B main with an operator and Doxer. Peaks without utility, and that's Medal play. Now Aster playing without smokes. For the entire round you do not have smokes. How do you execute into a site? You just hope Medal give these individual duels to you and you're able to win them out. That operator from Aduka has also been noted down. And Aster are looking to push in through a shot this time. A smoke in their face. They still have Kohli available with the drone, so he can make this happen, although they have decided to wait it out. Tricky has got himself out to A main, so this position will also be very, very strong, and they've got everything locked out. Now Kohli's drone, will it catch rotation? No, the recon gives away Kohli's position. Now Medal, they just have the perfect read. They have all the three players suppressed. Marzil has been taken care of, and the split which had to come gets that frag onto Kakarot, so they can still pivot out from A heaven. So let's see, Tricky is in a tough spot. He still is able to get, JE is able to get a frag. Aduka gets that trade onto JE. The operator needs to find something. Kohli, a frag to his name. The op, not shooting, and Aduka gets another frag. Now Aster are pulling out a 3v5. What is this? Game Crips?
It goes back and forth. It's like a roller coaster that just refuses to stop. Easy once again put in the 1v2. He pulled off the clutch to give this game a first overtime, and he might just do it once again. He figures out where the Sova is, just needs to find a Duka, and they both line up for him. Easy with the clutches again and again and again. 2 1v2s in a row, and this game is far from over. What a round. This was such a roller coaster of emotions. I mean, at one point when Tricky was able to get that first frag, we thought that this will be dangerous. They don't have any smokes left. And then Aster Army just continue running it down heaven. They don't go directly in via the doorway after it's been shut in their faces by the KO. They use the fragment somehow to boil him out of that position and get the frag as well, but they don't break the door down. Instead, they go all the way up towards heaven, and that pressurizes MLT Esports so much. But then once again, Easy just drops towards Jenny, and the 1v2 is complete. He might just finish this round over here, but the Duka has been spotted. He barely escapes for his life, but since he's being pinged by the recon, he can get wallbanged to death. How is he alive right now? Somehow in the Matrix, he escapes, and he will live to fight another day.
Now, Medal, the early mid control that they wanted to establish is theirs. How do they approach into this round? A is certainly weak for Team Aster Army, where you just have two players standing. But Doxer has been having a great day till now. Let's see if this hit comes in, if they're able to convert on the back of it or not. Now you have three players on side. No one is watching tree though. That is something I'm concerned about. The players, if they start to flood, and if Kishi is not able to get anything, this could be a disaster. Fox, who does not check, and that's the spike. Tricky though inside is able to get two, not the third, because Kohli is able to find a refrag. Easy though gets rid of Kishi on a main, and Kakarot is not accounted for. Is this it, or do we have some more clutches left? Can Marzil put this back into contention with the 1v3? Let's find out.
30 seconds left.
Marzil has been playing really well so far. His trip-wise have been amazing. But the one round where he isn't present on the ace side is the one where Medal attack here. The cyber cage drops at the most inopportune moment, and so does his body to the ground. MLT Esports win the first map.
Oh, what a game from MLT Esports. I mean, it just got saved by Easy. He was put in a 1v2 clutch 2 times, and he came out victorious. What a game. What a game of Valorant we saw on this map overset, and it is Team Medal who come out on top. I mean, Aster Army no strangers to being 1-0 down in the first map. But what a game from Team MLT Esports.
What a game indeed. What a game from Easy, man. This guy just keeps giving us so many rounds to just witness, and all of these 1v2s coming to life. We'll discuss all of this in the post-game segment, so don't go anywhere. And after that, we'll have the second map as well.
Hit for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can't play pretend. Hit multiple wins, I get it in.
Feeling under pressure.
A lovely YouTube audience to the arena. You guys are watching NODWIN Valorant Challenges South Asia. The first map went in the favor of MLT Esports, and that's partially because Easy came in clutch back to back. So that was quite wonderful from him. Plus, Tricky was an absolute monster all throughout. Aster on the other hand, now they have to face Metal on Fracture, and it is Metal's map pick, so on paper they should be able to win this one. They came here to win, they came here to party. And MLT Esports, while they don't have a single win in the series yet, they definitely want one today. They don't want to go out without a single win in this entire split, so they are here to make a statement.
Look at Metal.
Cypher once again on Aster Army, but MLT Esports have gone for that neon on Tricky. Now we get to see some spicy stuff.
See, this can go two ways. Either Tricky will be very annoying to deal with, or Tricky will be annoyed by all the tripwires that Mazi will place inside. This is the only way that this game goes, because Neon in itself cannot clear those tripwires, and if the cages are put perfectly to support those trips, Tricky cannot get anything done on the side that the Cypher is playing. So I like to see on the attacking half how the players of Team MLT Esports adapt. But right now, it is Team Aster Army to start on attack. They have that double duelist dive composition for themselves, and they should be easily able to get maybe 8 or 9 rounds in the first half for Team Aster.
So double duelist on Aster Army versus the double initiator of MLT Esports. Let's see how things pan out. 0 point going early towards A main, doesn't really spot anything, and the aggression towards Dish will see multiple members. So MLT Esports know where the hit is coming. Aster Army are trying to crunch in B with multiple people coming in from Arcade and Mazel lurking towards B main deep. But Metal are already prepared for this one. They're ready to stun up towers, but no, Easy goes for a dry peek and he still gets it instead. Jay turns around, swinging and playing ring on the roses on site, and all of a sudden it's just down to Marzil. He will meet his maker as he walks out of that smoke, and MLT Esports have a flawless start.
That stun was everything from Fox. It got, I think, 3 players, because of which Kishi got completely isolated. He was afraid to take that duel, be heaven, because he knew all the players behind him are stunned, so no backup would be there. And that is exactly when Easy creeps in, hits that headshot onto Kishi, who was still very much isolated. The backup tries to slide in through the ropes. He also gets taken down, and one by one, the players of Aster just fall.
Exactly.
Individual duel once again all around the board.
And the funny part is, I really thought that Fox would try to stun up tower because Easy was looking to aggress over there, but instead he stuns up the arcade main entrance where he peeks out himself. Yes, even Kakarot assists him with a singular frag, but at least they're able to get it to work, you know. Even though the trades didn't pan out in the favor, it didn't pan out in the way I expected them to, they still all fall in the favor of MLT Esports. Right now, once again, MLT Esports using the fault line as well as the aftershock to just keep Aster Army at bay on a main. But Marzil is faking his presence towards Dish. He's already thrown in some of the cyber cages, which hopefully will draw the attention of Easy. But MLT Esports don't budge. They're double aggressing out of arcade once again. They anticipate Aster Army to do the same thing once more. And they are correct about this.
Kakarot though, tagged, stunned, a nade at his feet. He is being bombarded with a lot of utility, but then the support arrives. Aduka is able to take down Jay, but Kakarot still firing. Finally goes down, so there will be a Spectre to play with, and it is a 2v3. Now, Fox just has a ghost to play around. So
30
Aster
seconds
can,
left.
or maybe have a save, but then I look at Marzil. That's Aduka, what a shot! He is not able to finally convert onto Fox, who gave him a little bit of an opportunity, but now Marzil in a 1v2, both the players just double peeking and just down with 4 HP. Not a lot of time left, and that's the frag they needed. A very close round, not at all comfortable for Team MLT Esports, but yeah, what matters is the round victory, and that is what they've got.
Yeah, Aster Army just tried to play along with the timing. They were intending to go towards arcade in the pistol round from the beginning itself, but this time they at least faked out presence towards A before they head towards B, which basically means that the double push from arcade on metal is the only thing standing in between their way and certain domination of the site. Yes, the rotations arrived on time, and Fox was once again able to assist his teammates in the nick of time, but that's not going to happen every single moment. It's not going to happen again and again. Aster Army this time have been pushed back. So much resistance towards B main. They've got the fault lines, the 0 points, as well as the neon relay bolts. And this means that MLT Esports have now showcased a presence of 3 members towards B main. And that's why Aster Army are avoiding this area like the plague. Meanwhile, Marzil, being the lurker all the time, is traded out towards the north side of the map. And this is the clear indication for Aster Army to start heading towards the B side. Now, since he sees those exact same agents who were at one point showing aggression towards B main, now peek out of arcade, he relays the information to his team that the site would be vacant and Aster Army get the plant down without any resistance.
Now, Kakarot does not know if Canteen or CT is being leaked or not, so he is trading very carefully. Support arrives from Fox, but Fox just has a ghost, and Easy wins a very important fight from Aduka. Now, Medal have a chance in this retake. The second fight, let's see, Kishi wins it out. The trade is there, Kishi with the second as well, and then they spot JE2. Easy, tagged up, very little HP left, and Kohli will be the one to swing out on the back of his flash and just clean up shop. Aster Army, yes, they do answer back, but then they've taken a big blow too. They've lost 3 rifles in the process. Even Kohli and Kishi, who survived, did not have a lot of HP left. So the buy wouldn't look good at all. Look at this, a bulldog for Doxer to work with. So not the best possible weapon this time around. But yeah, the trades, the way Metal approached the round was superb. Kishi gets a couple of frags. Kohli even gets 2, and that's the reason for them to win the game, win the round. And Aster Army now. Let's see how they want to play this one out. Just one tripwire available for Marzil to work with. Has thrown it on the northern side of the map, on the southern side of the map, where he just trades along the region of Dish and has a camera set up towards arcade. So it is a B push where Marzil, I think, will be late lurking through arcade, maybe through their spawn, depending upon how the rotations happen for Team Medal.
There's a slight change up though. No, never mind. I'm gonna speak about that change later on. For now, Duka changed into tie to the round. Fake dashing in to hopefully bait out the peek from Kakarot, but he doesn't fall for the bait. He'll wait for the smoke, he'll wait for the sound cues, and as soon as it fades away, he's hoping that he will have the jump on them. And it is about to fade away any time now. Even the cavalry has arrived, so MLT Esports are all looking to peek out at the same time.
Beaming smoke has been dropped. Now they really can isolate players on site. Kishi is trying to spam, but yeah, that's a call. That's a safe call from Team Medal. In a 3v5 where Doxer has his ultimate ready, it's wise to just fall back because you're not getting that retake because of that orbital strike. So it is a good decision from Team MLT Esports. They will save these weapons and try and make an impact in the next follow-up round, where I think Tricky is close to his ultimate too. So if he is able to maybe get one orb or get his ultimate ready, that would be sort of another weapon for them to work with. But yeah, Aster Army, great job, good execute, good shot set by Eduka and Kishi, and that's what wins them the round.
I know it's a bit too soon to predict this, but I think Aster Army are just waiting for aggression from MLT Esports to start the round. I mean, take a look at what Medal did in the first two rounds, you know? They would have Fox use the fault line, they would have Tricky send in the relay bolts, as well as the flashes from JE would just bombard Aster Army with all this util. And then they would all peek out and fight. And the two rounds that Aster Army have been able to win, they did it partially because they figured out where the combination of Fox and Tricky is, and they avoid that area then. This time, it's not Fox and Tricky, it's JE and Tricky. Well, he will always have one or the other initiator with him to aggress out of one of these sides of the map. This time that side happens to be Dish. And Aster Army, as soon as they figure that out, they don't have any presence towards the north side of the map. They take control of the A side instantly. Knowing fully well that MLT Esports would be stacking towards the Dish side, they smoke that area off and plant for a main.
Instantly they find themselves in a post plant. And now they are waiting. I mean, Team Medal are just waiting for the smoke to fade out. The stun is good. It will give Oduka's location and he's able to spam him out. Now, the second battle is of paramount importance that Tricky is able to hit that headshot. Instantly the wall gets thrown in. Yes, JE might be blind, but Aster, players are falling down one by one. The Molly to push Kohli in a very awkward spot. He has the stun, but Dogzer and Marzil arrive on time. They get the frags. They help their teammate out on side. And Aster should now be able to close out the round.
And that's why they say you gotta look both ways before you cross the street, kids. Aster Army just killed MLT Esports in the crossing towards A main. And since MLT Esports didn't have too many smokes to deploy over there and to lock all the A main players of Aster Army out of the action, they couldn't even kill Kohli because of that. Even though they had Kohli cornered over there like a rat in a trap, they were not able to bring the trap down and sever his neck. Nice recovery from Aster Army. They make the adjustments, get in towards the bottom of A main and take the site for themselves. And even though MLT Esports were going for a really fast retake, Doxer uses the orbital strike and the molly to delay the pushes out from Medal. And this gives Aster Army enough time to reposition towards A main, which then turns into their win condition. If only Kakarot dropped a smoke towards A main, they might have been able to get into the site easily for the retake. But enough talking about the previous round. Let's jump into round 6. MLT Esports, they have gone on quite an expedition. They peek out towards the canteen area, but that's about it. They take a little control towards A main, and nothing after that. Aster Army, on the other hand, they explore underground, they fall back, they even try to bait out a peek with the ultimate orb. But they don't commit. Meanwhile, Marzil has been creeping up all the way towards drop, and he gets that first frag onto JE.
And just to make things even bit more interesting, drops both his cages. Now, the set is still not here. I mean, it is just Kishi trying to bait all the KJ util, try to bait out all the rotations, and this frag will even make it worse for Team MLT Esports. They don't even know this set is coming on which side. Now, finally, Easy will be able to get one, and him having the lockdown will make a lot of importance. Holy, playing close, the flash is perfect, but he does not swing. The Rolling Thunder invested too. Ricky's power player is able to get that frag. Now, the spike isn't planted for any of them. They can just essentially stick the spike. The orbital strike, not available. The player's already dead. The peaks come in, but Kohli is able to rack up both. An Aster army. Individual brilliance once again strikes and helps them win the round.
Aster Army, it's not just individual brilliance, but also the timing of impacts all across the map. As soon as Marcel makes first contact towards drop and he gets that frag, you have all the duelists, the race just dropping in towards B main, and nobody saw that coming, right? Because instead of going directly towards the site, he peeked out from the smoke towards canteen and killed the guy towards literal defender spawn. Now, nobody would have seen that coming. Plus, you have the breach in form of Kohli. He uses the Rolling Thunder to keep MLT Esports away and help his team plant that spike so well. Yes, Tricky coming back in from B main was a bit unexpected, but they were able to deal with all the problems as they faced them. MLT Esports once again forced to eco, but at least they have 3 ultimates. One of them being Tricky's overdrive lows. Let's see if he's able to do anything with this one. Speaking of weaponized ults, you have 2 of them available on Aster Army too, so I'm assuming they probably won't use it in this round. But Aster Army, unlike most other rounds where they spread out quite a lot, this time haven't done any of that. They only let Kishi jump in towards top and get into its DA side, while the rest of them are still looking to come out of A main. Because there's smokes in the way, they can't just peek out yet, and neither can MLT Esports. And because of this little gap, the A side is vacant. They use the void to take control and plant.
Easy though. It's a good shot onto Aduka. And this time drops the lockdown. That's a very interesting position. Tricky the what? He's just clicking heads. The lockdown gets destroyed. But Kishi, stunned, Fox, peeks, and the round goes in the favor of Medal. But it is Tricky hitting those insane headshots with the Sheriff to help Team Medal win the round.
And he lets Fox gets the defuse, so he gets the Rolling Thunder online as well. They walk into these rounds with nothing but a bunch of Sheriffs, and Tricky makes them walk out with so many upgraded weapons and ultimates, and he didn't even use his overdrive for all of it. What a retake from MLT Esports. Aster Army thrown completely off. They just placed one lockdown, and the lockdown wasn't even all that impactful. It just pushed Aster Army down towards A main, which they would have taken regardless. But Tricky comes swinging out that door wide, taking names and kicking ass. And he's looking to do it once again. Relay bolt all the way down. He slides in to avoid the nade.
The orbital strike too. They are investing a lot into this round, Team Medal. The 0 point will give information about 2 players. But look at Aduka, he's already taken space. He's already on site. And now how do Medal deal with this crunch? Kakarot, a very important position he is in. Jay though, under the Seawers, is trying to regain arcade control, and this duel of paramount importance gets won by Tricky.
So
Doxer is not able to do anything about it, and Fox also gets Marcel. This should be the closer now.
So even though Aster Army have control of the B side, they are actually not opting to plant over there. Instead, they go all the way into its defender spawn. And this is because they knew that Tricky was down towards B main, so they can't really plant safely. They make a massive gamble to head towards the A site, and they will be intercepted by JE. The timing is perfect. And even though Aduka has been able to make it all the way across, he will have to swing back to collect the spike. And then walk into the waiting arms of Easy, who's just anticipating him on the A site. Plenty of time to work with, so Aduka can play the mind games. MLT Esports have let him take control of this area, let him recover the spike. They're reinforcing the sites instead, which is actually quite smart, because this will now force Aduka to clear out so many angles.
14 seconds on the clock. He needs to make a move, and he's able to find the anchor. The player falls and the spike is going down. Now Tricky is trying to hightail it towards this B side, but Aduka now has a real chance at this. Can he isolate these duels? Does not get the timing right, but Tricky peeks and he gets taken down. 30 HP, a fake dash to maybe turn heads from Easy, but he looks in the correct direction. He is the saving grace in the round, but Medal, unnecessary peek out of B heaven. Just trying to find the correct timing, giving a chance to Aduka to just close the round. But finally for Team Medal, gracious Easy is available. Otherwise, man, Aster would have taken the lead back.
Yeah, I mean, he's clutched off 1v3s and 1v2s in the past, so this 1v1 isn't really that big of a challenge for Easy. put him in a clutch situation and he's gonna rack up all those numbers. Although I like the adjustments from Aster Army in this round as well. I love the idea of them trying to go towards A. If it just was a little bit earlier, they probably would have been a lot more successful. And the only reason they did this is because Tricky in the first place was taking heavy control of B main. So they can't really go for the plant without securing tower and B main. Good adjustment, but JE catches them off guard.
There.
The intention was great. Results could have been better. But at least this time, once again, Tricky. He's able to aggress out of B main, and he's been doing this so often. He still keeps finding all these frags. And there's a rolling thunder to boot. Help easy, assist, and keep this incoming hit away. There's a nano swarm on the drop as well, so Aster Army will take a lot of damage on the way inside.
There's the nano, and there's a smoke in their face. No way they push this now, Aster. They fall back. They have a rolling thunder and that orbital strike of their own. So somehow, some way, they are able to get into a side and maybe get the spike down. They would have a chance of winning the round. But yeah, A is not the side that you would want to be in right now. Defended by 3 players. One of the player playing inside. And yeah, Aster, I think that's just a safe call on the back of all the frags that literally went Medal's way. And bear in mind, this is an attackers oriented map.
30
and
seconds
Medal, if
left.
they're able to get 5, that's a great half for them.
It is their map pick too. So if they're just able to keep this momentum going, it would really serve in their best interest. They're cycling their ultimates also quite well. Kakarot and Fox just keep using it as soon as they get it, but Tricky and JE have been holding
10
on to theirs
seconds
since
left.
quite some time. And since they get all these early frags, Aster Army, they are now hesitating to make contact anywhere else. The save has already been called. Although I'm kind of concerned for MLT Esports going into the next round. Look at the massive ultimates that Aster Army have available now. Both the Rolling Thunder as well as the Orbital Strike can really throw a sight into a state of chaos. And this will definitely help them get the plant down at the very least.
Exactly. Rolling Thunder to get them inside, maybe Orbital Strike for post plant. That's something that I would call. But hey, let's see. I mean, how do they use it? Aster Army, because they also have the null command available. The neon alt is there too, the overdrive, but it won't have a lot of impact because Aster Army are good together, and then they have decided to play. The flash was great, but yeah, Duka, it did miss it. He was not completely blind, and Kishi also gets that frag. The entry gets taken regardless. They were not forced to invest any ultimates, although Kohli still just threw in that Rolling Thunder to ensure that no heroics can be thrown in from any Medal
Spike
players.
planted.
Now Kishi will face a duel, but yeah, Kakarot just backs off. Middle easy, trying to sneak in, gets taken care of. Jay
Last player
won't
standing.
even check the angle down below, gets taken care of too. Kishi with the 3k, Aster with the round.
And at this point, Tricky really needs to start changing things up. He's often been aggressing way early. Of course, he always changes his avenue of approach. But as long as Aster Army just hold for the first 10 seconds, they will definitely spot Tricky. And based on Tricky's position, they can also figure out where either JE or Fox are playing. So that has been a dead giveaway of their positions up until now. But don't get me wrong, Tricky's aggression often gets MLT Esports so much map control that Aster Army are very uncomfortable. That's also what's been forcing out these errors from them. And Tricky always goes somewhere else. He always aggresses out of different parts of the map. This time it's a massive north side crunch with pushes coming in from both Dish as well as Arcade. And in response, Aster Army quickly swarm the A site, but they are yet to deal with all the nano swarms. Doxo repositions himself, plants a little bit more in the open.
Fox's position noted, and he does not have any flashes to work with. So it has to be this raw gun duel, or maybe hope that his team comes inside on time. Tricky, this running around creates enough distraction so that Easy and Fox are able to get that
Player
frag.
standing.
He is left, I mean now it is all down to Aduka. 1v3, 54 HP to his name, trying to be a very irritating jet, but yeah, Kakarot will shut him down. And MLT Esports are able to find half a dozen rounds in the first half itself.
Yeah, slow and steady, just creeping into the site. They are comfortable letting Aster Army go with the plant. But MLT Esports take things very, very methodically. They swing out of the defender spawn entrance. And yes, Tricky was a little caught off guard over there. The movement not really helping him out all that much. The burn doesn't really do too much. Even the orbital strike goes nullified. And MLT Esports now have stabilized quite well. Although that being said, both these sides have been holding on to these ultimates for quite some time now. Tricky and JE had these rounds like some 4 or 5 rounds ago. And MLT continue to push out yet again. I mean, I was speaking about Tricky's pushes giving away what MLT are up to, but this time even Easy pushes out. And that's just such a problematic affair for Aster. But this is a repeat of the previous round where they just take control of A main and go for the plant instantly. The showstopper gets nullified. The null command actually puts it away. And now there's very less firepower available on Aster unless Aduka has something to say about it.
But the spike is being stuck. Tricky, nobody can touch him, but finally Kohli does. The flash, Beard, what?
Wow.
That's a flick. That's a crazy flick from JE. And now Dogzer and Kishi, the last 2 remaining players. Kishi gets one, traded out. Dogzer gets one, but then again traded out. And MLT Esports, they end this half on a very positive note. And for a defensive team to get 7 rounds, that's a great half for Team MLT Esports on this map of Fracture.
Indeed, a great half. MLT Esports always proactive, always fighting at the start. All these pushes out of different parts of the map, it doesn't really pose a problem because even though MLT Esports take the exact other side under their control and swarm into the site to just quickly get the plant down, hoping to beat MLT Esports to the race, they still aren't able to get into post-plant positions before MLT Esports just jump them, pounce on them. And MLT Esports had quite a lot of success in this first half. But you know what? You guys can also find some success if you scan this QR code. Go ahead and check it out because you stand a chance to win a beautiful Philips One Blade. We'll see you with the second half on the other side of this break.
Hit for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
Bro, fridge meat के लिए, heat के लिए नहीं. Bro, this graphics card is making my frames drop. Come with me if you wanna game.
The all-new Omen 16 with advanced Tempest cooling technology, now with 5 heat pipes and 4 thermal outlets. The Omen 16 with 12th Gen Intel Core i7 processor to make you forget your frame drops.
Now that's cool.
Game on with Tempest cooling.
Presenting Hyundai i20 N-Line. It's time to play.
Yes, I'm a Gen Z. Or should I say, the Gen Next. And I don't let fear hold me back from doing anything. I choose to move fearlessly to it all.
Hey buddy, we need you to trim your beard for this next scene.
What? Okay, fine, I'll admit it. I move fearlessly in most things, but I draw the line here. What if I Nico cut myself?
Try this.
Phillips.
Hit for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
Welcome back to NODWIN Valorant Challenges South Asia. You guys are watching MLT Esports versus Aster. Now, MLT had quite a proactive and aggressive strat in the first half, and Aster did really well to respond to them by taking control of other parts of the map and really planting quickly. But MLT still beat them to the punch, still beat them in the pace. At least this time, Aduka will save his face and open up Izzy's face. So this is a good start. They get the opening pick. But on the other side, Aster will get caught off guard once again as Muzzle tries to get tries to make an info play towards Arcade and instantly spots way too many MLT members to survive that encounter.
And look at the HP bars on the remaining players too. JE just to spam through the smoke, even through the wall, is able to get one more. Aduka and Kishi, not a lot of HP between the two players, and Kakarot cleans them both. It is all down to Kohli, and he has a flash, he has a stun. But yeah, 4 members are just too much to work with, and Kakarot will take his head off too. Great ult progression for Kakarot on the basis of that 3k. And MLT Esports, they win a pistol round where Aster could have equalized the score line. They have a lead of 3 and possibly 4 rounds after this.
One enemy remaining.
I love watching these highlight plays. Move fearless moments by Phillips OneBlade, really showing us some crisp shots, and MLT Esports start things off on the right note. Good way to win the pistol, and this should help them keep the momentum as well. Now, Aster Army isn't one of those teams who goes for force buys quite often unless they're really desperate. And this is exactly why you see them with just a bunch of shorties and frenzies. These shorties also are in very precarious positions, you know. You've got Marzel holding A all by himself, and he's positioned towards A main. So he will be able to get 1 kill at max as they try to dive into the site. Oh, never mind! He proves me wrong! They both line up and he gets 2. Much more than he anticipated. But at least the rest of MLT Esports covered up quite well to get the numbers advantage back.
The stun is there, but still nobody checks side. That's not something you'd like to repeat in the future rounds. Now you should be able to close it out because Kohli anyways just has a shorty. Might be able to upgrade to a classic, but yeah man, you're not winning the round with the weapons that you have right now. Aduka leverages 12 HP to his name. Kohli though is able to land a double dink onto Tricky. Alright. 50 HP between the two, and yeah, as soon as Aduka falls, Kohli is also left with very little HP to work with, and there he goes too. So they at least have made it expensive, and Team MLT Esports will need to invest into the round. But yes, 9-5, even if Aster win the round, the 6th one on the board, yeah, still nowhere near closing out the lead for Team Aster Army.
I kind of feel like I'm cursed at this moment. I speak about Marzel being able to get a single frag considering he's alone and he's only got 1 shorty, plus he's stunned. And then somehow they all line up for him. They don't check him. And he's able to find a 2-piece. And on top of that, the classics also give them quite a lot of kills. So MLT Esports lose 3 weapons in the process. They only carry forward 2 bulldogs from the previous round, and the rest of them upgrade to sheriffs. Only Tricky invests into a phantom all the way in. So he will be the tip of the spear. And that's exactly what he's being. He's trying to peek out of the smoke on the back of the flashes from JE, but they don't find any frags. Aster Army not letting them take even an inch. And they repel them back into the waiting arms of Marzel, who's waiting over here with his net placed. He just crossed over to the other side, so he will definitely be able to catch at least 1 player off guard. Or never mind, I'm not going to speak about Marzel getting a single frag because he's proven me wrong on so many occasions in the past by getting multiple. MLT Esports cycle back to its A main. And Aster Army have this area down on lock.
Yup, no one's passing through. Kohli and Kishi get the frags. Nobody checks that angle too, for which I was surprised a little bit. Kakarot though finds one. Kishi's taken down. But then the flag from Marzel is unexpected. Kohli is the one to finally put a bullet to Metal Fox's skull. And that's it. Aster. A sort of flawless round. Yes, they lose Kishi in the process, but he will be able to invest into this round. A harsh shield weapon is something he should have enough money to buy. And yes, a good round. Good round for Team Aster Army. They just completely box in the players of Metal, and they're able to win on the back of it. 9-6. Although now is a very crucial round because Metal a complete buy, an opportunity to reset the economy for Team Aster Army and put them back in the round.
Exactly. Even when MLT Esports are oscillating between A main and B main, they don't see a lot of Aster players. They just see utility. Unless it's a round like this where Aduka gets the height and he's able to take the kill onto JE before he can even advance, but Tricky pulls off the relay ball at the most unfortunate moment. Kakarot also caught with a gun not in his hand, and all these moments are just so unfortunate. Everyone from MLT Esports getting caught with their pants down.
It's just one of those rounds where you do not expect players to be in these positions and they just come out of nowhere.
One down.
Yes, it's all down to easy. He gets one, but then Kohli is there with the trade. Even there was backup from Marzel, so even if Kohli falls, Marzel essentially is able to pick up that frag. And Aster Army, a very important round to fight. Middle have been put back into the eco round, and this should essentially be their 8th round.
But it's so nerve-wracking to see so many of MLT Esports players get caught like this.
This is a nice spot.
Tricky, unlucky moment as he pulls the relay bolt. Same with Fox, same with Kakarot. Just getting unlucky over there on the timing. But credit where it's due, Aster Army, their proactivity helps them get so much map control, and MLT Esports gets repelled back every single time.
This time around, just with Sheriffs, so they are just trying to get their ultimates ready as soon as possible. Although, what, Kakarot? He hits that first headshot onto Doxer and then is able to find that frag too. Now, Marvel will be put in a difficult spot. And he has to hold and maybe try to get that equalizer. Kakarot try to be cheeky around the trip wire. All the trips have been broken down and the spike will go down. Easy also has the lockdown available and Kakarot has the orbital strike, but he won't be allowed to use it. Aduka with the spam is able to get the frag, and Easy perfectly positioned with that with the lockdown. Now Kohli, he throws in the Fox throws in the rolling thunder. The peak comes in, the frags are there, and Aster are locked out of the site. A 3v4 retake. Yes, the weapons are still not there, but the space that Team Medal have right now is just insane.
Aster Army will have to work really hard to take that space back away from them. MLT Esports are simply not offering them any battles at all. The shorty nets them tower control. But what do they do on the back of it? Marzel has no choice to get inside. Aduka has to race all the way in, and the spike is already half gone, and so are the hopes of Aster Army. Easy sacrifices his life for a good cause, and that's another clutch from this man. What a round from MLT Esports, and it's all started with that one shot that Kakarot was able to hit. Yeah, of course, he was overwhelmed. He tried to use the orbital strike, but he was denied by how quickly Aster Army were moving. But then again, because the members of MLT Esports are able to get so deep into the site, they use the ultimates to just convert the round, even though they don't have the weaponry. The Rolling Thunder from Fox just buys them the space they need, re-clearing areas like Tower and Arcade. And on top of that, the lockdown also buys them a lot of time, so Aster Army don't have much to work with going into this retake. Tricky this time with a Blitzkrieg attack, tries to stun up Tower, and the skies are torn asunder, hoping that they would be able to get one kill at the very least, but no. Nobody from Aster Army is present over there, and Aster Army get one more frag through the smoke simply because Marzel is an absolute gigachad with that Cypher. Hey, but even after getting control of the site itself and Tricky being positioned on B, the spike isn't anywhere close to being planted. It's not even close to the site.
That is because of all the ultimates that Team Aster have to their ready. They have the Rolling Thunder, they have the Showstopper, and these two ultimates are enough to change the entire course of the round. Now Tricky dry peaks and Aduka punishes him. Even JE has been tagged up quite a bit. Medal hoping to find any frag that they can. The Roomba will also give away Kakarot's position. And Medal are in a very rough spot now. The stun, the flash to maybe set up Kakarot in this position. He gets one, yes. But then Doxer comes in, gets a triple frag. And the Showstopper, even the Rolling Thunder are not used till now. And to top it off, Doxer has his orbital strike too. So after they get a round, and they have enough ultimates to help them win another round on the back of it.
Rounds like these from Aster Army are what keep the game so competitive. Even on Ascent, Aster Army, I think it was a similar scoreline, you know? It was either 10-7 or 10-8 when Aster Army won a particular round which broke Medal's economy, and it allowed Aster Army to farm up their own ultimates. Now this should easily help them secure this round and maybe even tie up the score against MLT Esports. Medal on the other hand, they've got two massive ultimates coming up. Tricky, 1 point away, JE. This should help them rack up some firepower. And since there's so many ultimate orbs available on a map like Fracture, they are going to take their sweet time trying to capture it.
Let's not repeat the same mistakes and let's not pick these settings one by one. Hopefully, yeah, they just destroy the early Cypher util. Try to make sure that they have control, and Marzel is being snuck upon. Tricky. Only if he gets that frag, the round would have been interesting. But yeah, Doxer also comes in, gets another frag. They might be able to get the spike down, but that's about it. The stun as well, hitting the player, 2v5 retake. You don't even need ultimates to win the round. They should just be on the back of gunplay. Aduka arrives on the flank. Dogzer comes out of the smoke, gets the frag, gets the job done, and Aster Army with their mind.
Gun here.
Yeah, this was expected to go in the favor of Aster Army. I'm actually surprised by how clean they keep it. I thought that they would try to challenge MLT Esports right at the start of the round, but instead, they hold on to their positions. And MLT Esports tried to do cheeky things, you know. They had Tricky go all the way in towards the generator. Almost got the jump onto Marzil, but the Frenzy versus Phantom battle swings in the favor of Aster Army. And just like that, Aster Army are 1 point away from tying up the scoreline yet again. Oh, both these maps are just too close for comfort.
Now, entering into the side for Team MLT Esports would be a piece of cake. Jay can pop the null command and Tricky can use the overdrive. But how do you defend against a Rolling Thunder, Orbital Strike and a Showstopper? Plus, you're choosing to go towards that A side, where all these ultimates are super deadly to deal with. And once again, early util usage, but Fox gets the jump onto Aduka. He misses the shot and gets punished. Now Kishi already pulls out the Orbital Strike. The Showstopper gets a frag onto Kakarot, and even the player outside falls out. Volleyed out of the position, gets the frag onto Easy, not looking in the correct way. The Rolling Thunder invested too, but Jay, what? One tap even after he's stunned. Now Fox left in a 1v3 situation. He has a spike to his disposal though, and Kishi is low on HP. Still doable, but let's see if he's up for the job or not.
1 point away from Rolling Thunder. He's got the fault line also available now. Kishi's already low on HP, and he's got plenty of time, so Fox has the opportunity to clutch this round out. The crossfires aren't perfect. He can isolate the fight against Kishi, and now he's got one more. Almost had this one in the bag, but Marzil saves the day, and the scores are neutralized. Great start from MLT Esports, but they're not able to follow up on the back of it. Aster Army put so much resistance with just their utility towards this drop area that MLT Esports, even though they had the entries, they weren't able to get into the site. And the rotations from Aster Army are also just picture perfect. They arrive there in the nick of time, reinforcing their teammates. And this A main control has been a big problem for MLT Esports, you know? I mean, they're able to get into B side every now and then, but A looks quite difficult to crack.
B is a side where I'd say Team Aster are playing sort of retake every round. But now that all of your ultimates have been expended, Metal could go for a force buy here and win a round on the B side. Because the retake is a very difficult thing to do on that particular B side. And if you're not contesting it, getting back onto that side is going to be a super difficult thing to do. So Metal can force buy and maybe hit that B side. But then again, the adjustment will come in from Aster Army too. They also realize that without ultimates at B side is something you'll need to be worried about. The traps are placed accordingly, and sometimes we do see Tricky falling prey to those trip fires. But they're not being converted into frags because Marzil does not find himself in a position to spam. But yes, they are fighting it out for B main. You can see all the marks coming on the mini map. There will be a stun towards arcade. There is an operator positioned out B main. So they are ready for this adaptation from Team MLT Esports and Aster. Let's see if Aduka is able to find the first frag. Because the last time he used this operator, he fell on his face. He was dinged through the wall and then taken care of. And once again, he misses the shot. The dash was not ready, so he also falls. The orbital strike used early on, which helps Marzil sneak into the side. Now Marzil, the spam is there, but the frag isn't. And on the back of the frag they get, they just fall back.
Exactly. I mean, they recover the AWP and they've given it back to Tricky. Keep in mind, Tricky hasn't been having a great game yet, so maybe this would be his chance to bounce back. The timing is perfect though. Marzil puts on a killing spree over here. Yes, Kohli dies, but he escapes and he's got all the info he needs. That's the spike discovered right there. They know that Tricky has the AWP, so they definitely don't want to face him once more. They reposition and try to reinforce the sites instead. Metal Esports have a choice to make. Do they continue going towards the B side where Marzel's utility continues to bother them, or do they head towards Arcade where his tripwires will be present nonetheless? JE has all the utility he needs. Kakarot
30
has only
seconds
one
left.
smoke in the back, but at least he recovers a Phantom. He can probably smoke out one of these Jenny or the Canteen areas, but he won't get to do any of that. Marzel with the timing is perfect. Quad kill for the man, and he's looking for the final piece, looking for the ace. Maybe JE will offer it to him. He snuck past now, undetected for the time being, but Marzel steps up.
And I didn't feel
All
anything,
five.
Not even a thrill.
In the bag. All 5 in the bag for Marzel. And he denies that he could win. It started off with Fox, and then one by one all these players fell. Yes, it seemed a little bit difficult for Team Aster Army once it was a 3v3. I was concerned for them for a little bit. But yeah, then Marzel finding all the correct timings. Everything fell in his favor and he's able to convert the round. Great stuff coming in from Team Aster Army. And once again, look at the read. They have 4 players towards that B arcade region. They know the Metal will try to put that lockdown under the B side. And that's where they try to clear off. They've already taken the northern map control all for themselves. And yes, Metal might be able to put the lockdown down. And the stun is beautiful too, but Tricky has also been stunned. Easy with the lockdown. Metal should get the entry. But let's see how do Team Aster Army want to go in for the retake.
The aftershock, is it going to be enough to break the lockdown? Apparently not. Extra 200 HP on this lockdown, and goalie has to clear it physically. But it gets the job done. Metal Esports get into the site. So they bamboozle Aster Army into taking control of Underground, and they leave the site clear instead. It will be a 5v5. The Hellfire rains down from the skies. A cataclysm of heat and Hellfire rains down upon them as the skies are torn asunder, and Kakarot tears their heads apart. Metal Esports are right back in this game.
They get their 11th, and man, these rounds are being won on the back of ultimates. They get that lockdown, they get all the space they need onto the B side, and this is what I was talking about. Retakes on B, nightmare. Nightmare for the defensive side. And that is exactly what happens, Metal. They even use the orbital strike to flush out the player. A B tower just pushes him into the welcoming arm of 2 different players of Team Metal Esports, and from there on, they just completely turn the round in their favor. Duka, though, he has positioned himself dish, and he will find frags players to shoot at.
Yeah, but this op has been a problem for Azuka in the past. Not anymore. Takes Tricky out of the equation right away. I love how Aster Army were bamboozled in the previous round. Metal Esports convinced them to go underground and give up the side itself. I wonder if they can pull off something like this once more. Ultimate Orb gives JE the null command that he requires. And after showing presence towards the A side, Aster Army are now repositioning back to their defaults. They recognize that Metal won't be hitting from Dish.
Again, it is a setup on the B side where you're trying to play offside, you're trying to play on the contact of your trip wires. And you are giving away this side. So it will be a post-plant scenario. And Fox has the Rolling Thunder to deny the post-plant situation. Jay will pop the null command, but I mean, Marzel is already away from the site, so these tripwires still will remain active. Now, how do you deal with this? Here goes the null command. The flash is there, but the more you to stop things, and Dogzer will get that jump onto the middle player. The spike will still go down, but the revival, it is impossible now.
Metal Esports get into the site, but at what cost? 2 of their major players are dead already. The Rolling Thunder will be put to use just to keep Aster Army away, but no, goalie still gets all the frags they need. A triple for this man, and Fox already has 1 foot in the grave. A 1v5 on the cards and the aftershock to flush him out. That should be the final nail in the coffin. Aster Army get to map point. And Metal Esports will need another massive clutch to push this game into overtime as well.
Figure out where the operator is. That's the first job in the round. Money isn't a problem for Team Metal. They will still be able to buy into this round. But how will they play around that operator is the main question I have. How do you find Duka, suppress him, or maybe run him over? You do have Fox on the breach. So if you decide to hit as a team, the fault line and the flashes can come to your rescue. And that is, I guess, the final call for Team MLT Esports. It is going to be a complete A rush. The fault line will be prepped up for a main where you have two different players of Aster Army, Kishi and Aduka both. The counter stun will be there. And then operator will still be able to find that shot onto Tricky. MLT Esports cannot find the first opening for themselves and are down a player in a very crucial round.
What is this series? Every single map going down to the wire. And Aduka is prime positioned once again. The flash pushes him back momentarily, but he finds a collateral! Even though there's a nanoswarm thrown at him, he doesn't stop. And now the Rolling Thunder to help him set up for more. Kakarot and Fox thrown off their feet, swept away. Maybe even under the rug, as Aster Army are looking to push this game into map number 3. Haven seems inevitable.
It just might be. And now at this time, Aster are just playing. They know it's a 5v2. They know they just have to keep composure to make sure that they win the round and not force it to OT. A smoke in the face of Kakarot, but he's already ahead of it.
Nice.
Kakarot and Fox, they both get a frag each. And now are expecting the lurk from Marzel too.
Yeah.
This could be difficult. But they don't have enough time to double back towards that B side. Marzel, still outside A. Does he get checked? That's the main question. They've already started to make sound. And Marzel does not get checked. He closes out the round. And Aster Army, once again, they do drop map number 1. But answer right back on their opponent map pick and are able to equalize the series.
What a series this was. Both the teams going back and forth. In so many of these rounds, they're just countering each other really well. Aster Army start playing aggressively in the second half, and that's what nets them so much advantage. MLT Esports had to resort to a lot of brain games and a lot of tactics to make Aster Army vacate their sites, only to find themselves being shot down in all sorts of gruesome ways. We'll break down this game with more detail after the short break.
Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
Feeling under pressure.
back into map number 3. It's Haven on the cards, ladies and gentlemen. MLT Esports and Aster Army, both winning each other's map picks, has now suspended this game into a sense of disbelief as map 3 is on the cards. Haven is up for the taking.
Ooh, let's see the agents. Marzel, he should just go Cypher. He is just 200 IQ with that agent. He switches
Never mind.
to Killjoy. He says, yeah, I'm not playing that. It's done. It is better to play Killjoy on this map, which I kinda agree with. But there is an interesting pick, Kakarot with the Astra. Now we'll talk about the util later on, but then the remaining setup is all completely same. So it would have been a better matchup if either Kohli picked Astra or Kakarot picked Omen. But there's difference of agents. Now you don't have that flash available for you to execute into this side. The C logs area will be a very crucial position for Team Metal to look out for when they're executing on the C side. Even the short region, which could be easily paranoid through a main, that Kohli has the ability to do, Metal won't have the same thing to work with. So how do Metal put in their attacking executes is something we'll see in the second half. Because Aster, they are the first ones to start on this attacking half in the map of Haven.
There has been a little bit of a road change. Doxer was the one who was playing on Omen during Ascent. And now it is Kohli who's doing that. Meanwhile, Doxer is back on the Sova. I mean, he has always been a Sova main, at least on the map of Haven. But Aduka has to be the tip of the spear once again. Sharp as ever pierces Kakarot's blade. Izzy tries to go in for a weapon switch at the most inopportune moment, and he ends up losing his life. That's gonna be the spike down for Aster Army, but Marzel's holding the flank, and he's not gonna let anyone through.
That's just around. I mean, Kakarot did not even realize that Aduka has already spotted him, and that was a very, I'd say, negative thing to happen. Kakarot should have noticed that he was spotted and should have fought Aduka. But yeah, as soon as the anchor inside falls, it's just around. And yes, you are correct to point out that Doxer has switched on to that Sova. But we've seen Kohli play superbly on this Omen agent in the previous game that they played against the side of, I think, Team MLT? Oh, no, it was True Rippers. He even got an ace on this C side where he threw the paranoia and was able to just TP behind the backlines and kill all 5. So Kohli on Omen is just phenomenal. And Aster have already started off on a positive note. 1-0, they will buy up in the round. Doxer even goes on to invest into a Vandal. And remaining Marzel and Aduka with upgraded pistols do not invest in, because they know they need to be the players who keep in check their economy. Medal, they will invest in a few sheriffs themselves, hoping to maybe get a frag or 2. Although Tricky hasn't been hitting a shot, and both the sheriffs positioned just outside A. So they won't be seeing any action because Aster has gone in for the C execute once again. It will be completely coming in, and now Aduka just buying as much time as possible. Fox being spammed out of his position, although plays beautifully inside the smoke. The right clicks are also connecting. Kakarot gets a frag, and that's a bulldog retrieve. Doxer goes down too. Suddenly, Team Aster are in a very difficult spot now.
The Vandal is up for the grabs, and the upgraded weapons of MLT Esports are now backfiring against them. Nice dash inside. That really throws off Marzel's aims, allowing Kakarot to pick up the flank, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. MLT Esports hit them right back. I'm surprised they don't retrieve Doxer's weapon, but hey, they get the round, and this is much more than anyone expected from Vandal.
That's a great round to find. Fox, sneaky, just get the frenzy player. But Kishi falling was the biggest upset, because that's the bulldog, and that is exactly where the round fell. A bulldog gets converted into a 4K. Look at this. The worst possible timing for Kishi to turn, drops the weapon, and even drops the round. Metal instantly answer back and get themselves the round for their troubles. Although, look at Team Aster. That's an interesting purchase once again. Aduka has a bulldog, and Marzel has invested in a phantom. Now, Aduka won't be able to get anything because no one checks Kakarot in that position. And Easy is also there to hold this flank angle out. Marzel though gets one. Doxer gets another. Brings it down to a 2v3. Kakarot spotted down. Doxer retrieves the weapon. And now both these players have phantoms. Let's see, can Aster do something about this round?
Last player standing.
Oh, apparently not. MLT Esports are fighting on all cylinders. Aster Army tried to swing the momentum back in their favor by forcing some weapons, but it ends up backfiring on them really hard. At least the economy isn't in complete shambles, as they can afford weapons once more.
Useless individual.
Worst timing. I felt bad for Aduka there because he was checking Dong for so long, but as soon as he tries to go and clear C link, he gets taken care of. But then where was the utility to clear that backside? I mean, maybe a recon, maybe a flash from breach could have been asked there. Does not happen. And once again, look at this. Aster are running into a 3-man stack towards this A side.
They indeed are.
No charges left.
Alright. Now, that's interesting. They do get revealed quite a lot towards A lobby and they fall back instantly. And this causes MLT Esports to start aggroing down A shot. B side is only left upon turret contact over here. So if Aster Army do try to go, well, that would be disastrous. But Kakarot, he's playing dangerous games over here. It's up to Easy to somehow cover his retreat, and he's managed to make it back to safety. They discover all the Aster Army players towards Garage, and Kakarot spraying them down. What an absolute monster! He lines them up, knocks them down, and MLT Esports once again get the round. Aster Army's economy back in shambles.
Oh, they cannot get a break. That one round they lost has given them so much trouble right now that they cannot get out of this economy dump. Now Mazel, a Sheriff, a Stinger for Aduka, a Stinger for Kohli, and this is them forcing into the round. They won't have enough money. They might have enough money to play with half shields and phantoms and vandals the next round. And again, it won't be a full buy. So it is desperate attempt coming in from the side of Team Aster Army. And they are being punched in again into the face. Tricky pushes out, gets to, but dogs are on Aduka. They do answer back with flags of their own, but then find themselves in a 3v2 with nothing but sheriffs.
Take flight.
Oh, gets the flag. And even Jay is not firing shots good. He's somehow a very labored tap shot. Gets the job done. But Marzel now has a stinger. Although relies on the ever so trusty one-tap Sheriff. Can he get... Oh, the timing.
Just about spots
Jay
him.
just runs away. And Marzel has the lockdown. So if he is able to get the spike down, has the lockdown, has the turret, and has 2 nano swarms as well. So this will be a very important round. Although he won't find any weapon because there was no action outside A. But at least he'll find the plant on this side if he continues to go there.
Dangerous games, but at least he should be able to get the plant down. And if he really wants to convert this round, he can place the lockdown as well. Although he needs to be careful. Jay is just 1 point away from his ultimate, so in case they feel adventurous and try to capture orbs, that Hunter's Fury should really be able to destroy the lockdown. If he gets it, that is. Nope, not happening. Is he going to commit the ultimate? The chances of him securing this round are indeed quite low, so it would be understandable if he doesn't hold on to it. But the shock darts are somehow dodged. The aftershock, probably not. It baits him into Fox's crosshair, and MLT Esports are on a winning streak.
They just grouped up together outside B, and that was a good thing to do. They knew that there was just a Sheriff in play, and even if there was a Vandal, they could have essentially traded the player out. They chose the wrong side. The spike, yes, it goes down. It gives some money to the players of Team MLT Esports. To Aster Army. But that's about it. They do not get the round, and that is what was necessary. Them winning the round. Dogser, if he hits one headshot here, the round could have entirely changed. But him missing a few shots, medal, they will be able to convert the round on the back of it. But bear in mind, 4-1s is where Aster has come back in the previous few games from.
Okay. That's an early start. Can he find anyone? No, he can't, and it's a bit too late. Aster Army have already flooded into the B site. The lockdown as well committed. But MLT Esports are still keen on challenging this one. Are you serious? Fox, he dives right inside. He's trying to get as many kills as possible before he gets detained and killed. So he tried to throw in that curveball. And that indeed was a good one. Aster Army didn't see it coming, but they still somehow are able to retaliate. It's all up to Tricky. And the Op isn't capable of clearing closer angles. Aster Army with Blitzkrieg base finally throw MLT Esports in for a toss.
Every time medal falls in the 6th round, they look so convincing till the rounds prior to that. But as soon as the 6th round hits, they just lose a round, and that's where Team Aster starts their comeback from. Will it be the same story though? Because they say just one round that Aster were able to win. And even though Kakarot got that first frag, Aster are still able to convert it. So that was something very interesting to see. And let's see, Aster Army, if they are the ones to qualify for qualify for the playoffs and become the first team to do so in both the splits.
That will be quite an achievement. Quite a statement too. Drone, not gonna clear out the crossfire that's been set up by MLT Esports on a long, but they break it themselves. Use a drone of their own. Both the teams just playing a game of chicken. Sending the birds out to spot. And while time is boiling down, there's a minute left on the clock, and unfortunately Aster Army have nothing to show for it. Surprisingly enough, even MLT Esports aren't taking aggro control towards other sides of the map. This nanoswarm will be tossed, hoping to break the alarm bot, and it is broken. But does it draw out rotations from MLT Esports? Nope, it doesn't. They are unbothered, unfazed. They're still stacking the A site. They're expecting Aster Army to fully come in over here.
A good stun with an aftershock and then the paranoia too. But where's the execute? 30 HP on Kakarot, Marvel closes him down. But the execute should come in when the flash strikes. Although Aster are still able to spam through all the smokes, get through all the problems, and then get the frags. Now in a 2v3 situation, 24 seconds on the clock. Easy does not even break the turret over there. And now Tricky is in a position to stop this plant. Dogs are dry peaks, gets taken down. Easy gets 1-2. Tricky with the blaze, gets the job done, and MLT Esports, they win the round. Aster, the worst time to pump the brakes, and Medal punished them for it.
MLT Esports indeed punished them for it. It was a labored execute. The Hunter's Fury didn't get them anything. The stun and the paranoia, it was indeed great, but the follow-up, not so much. It gives MLT Esports just enough time to get inside and get under their skin.
Ooh, MLT Esports, great job done by them. And you can just see how happy Hacker is. He's like, yeah guys, we know we have had a good start. We know that we have been able to get at least one game in our favor after a start like this, but let's make sure that we end up this half with the lead too. And I cannot see the strategies being talked out by Hacker. I think they're just having fun, considering this is their last game and you cannot qualify, so it's better to have fun rather than try and discuss strats.
That is actually like a fair piece of advice, you know. Just enjoy the game as much as you can. You don't know what the future holds for you, but you can live in the moment, and so far these guys are ruling in the moment. MLT Esports have come across so many hurdles that Aster Army are throwing their way. I mean, some of these rounds you expect to go in the favor of Aster Army, but Medal are somehow able to claw their way back in. And Haven looks promising for them so far, but it's still too early to call anyone a winner. Fault line being primed towards a shot, but there's nobody to peek alongside it, so Medal might not have any plans of aggro fighting right off the bat. Although Tricky is prepared for this. Do they swing wide enough to throw him off? His op has been kind of questionable today. So if you want to challenge Tricky, this is the day. This is the moment. They avoid it altogether.
He misses the first shot, but is re-aggressing C long. That's a brave decision. And he will find players. And he connects it this time, and that's the spike too. So there will be a recovery mission for Team Aster Army, and they will have to check C again. The stun will help them to do so. But let's see how do they want to execute onto the C side. Easy is already ready with the lockdown. As soon as you try something fishy on C, it gets popped. And look at this Medal already flanked through A. Kohli does not even know. Neither does Marzil. And that's a free frag. Although both the players caught off guard. Kohli gets a double and Aduka inside turns.
30 seconds
He
left.
turns both the heads down. And suddenly Fox finds himself alone in a matter of 2 seconds.
What a recovery from Aster Army. They were prepared for this one. MLT Esports did such a great job of holding them back. As soon as Aster Army broke the turret towards the B site and broke the alarm bot on Garage, MLT Esports decided to swing on them. They placed the lockdown, anticipating the hit to fully come through. And even the flank from MLT Esports was perfect, so Aster Army was supposed to be doomed. They were supposed to die right there because Medal had them cornered. But in an instant, The turn back from Garage, a multi-kill comes through, and MLT Esports are once again on the clawing back end of things. Aster Army have the advantage. Sure, Fox gets one, but there's only so much that he can do. Utility not effective. This stun will get them, but he doesn't check the angles. And Aster Army recover. What a round, man. I really thought Aster Army would be doomed over there. They were being read like a book from the start. Their attempt to break the turret on the B side only drew in one rotation. Not enough. The kill from Tricky got the spike down. And if it wasn't for Kohli and Aduka to step up over there, this round was over.
Oh, what a round for Aster Army to win. And even though Metal were winning rounds consecutively, they were not able to build a good bank. And because of it, they've been forced to an eco round. Now look at this, a Bulldog, a Spectre, one Sheriff, one Frenzy. This buy is not at all good. There is a push out A main. 4 players are trying to take control out A. But that's what they get. And you just have the Killjoy holding Garage. Now, Kohli has been spotted down. And he will instantly drop down and throw a smoke. So Aster are waiting for any aggression to be shown from the side of team MLT Esports. They've countered it. At least they have that information about it. And now have decided to go towards the C side.
The drone clears most of it. All the closer angles are already accounted for. Only the backside remains unchecked, which I think can be easily taken care of if JE throws in a recon dart. Although, if they kind of figured out that everybody from MLT Esports is pushing out A lobby, then even that becomes a viable enough area to push out. And, yeah, just like that, almost everybody's dead. Easy will be accounted for soon enough, and they're gonna high tide it towards the A side.
Yep, Easy gets nothing. Kohli marking Garage door, gets the frag, gets the job done, and Aster find their 4th. Marzel also has the lockdown available, so if they do want to hit that A side and get A shot control, the lockdown can be dropped and you can execute on the back of it. But as a great round, I mean, they do show some presence outside C, which triggers a reaction from the side of Team Metal. They all just push out A lobby and just get taken down one by one because of the superior weapons that the players of Team Aster had. But yeah, that was an eco round. Aster was supposed to win, but this is where it all matters. A very crucial round for Team MLT Esports, because if they lose this one out, they will again be forced back to an eco.
Nice push out. But do they know that Tricky is also present in the region? They might be under a false sense of security if Kakarot has been killed. But they will do well to avoid the mid-region entirely. Drone towards A. Doxter's cape has been spotted, but he still gets the shot onto Tricky.
Placing swarm grenade.
Somehow all these players are too aware, and the Bally CT will make sure Easy cannot come out of the smoke and try to make a heroic play. And then the spam from Uruka connects. The flash was good,
still peeks out.
But then Kohli gets the trade. Fox and JE in a 2v4. Better to maybe save these weapons because Aster is not dropping this round now.
Timing. Jay gets one. This could be the kickstart of a retake.
Here.
And MLT Esports, they realize they're running out of rounds, so they might as well just go for this.
Standing ahead.
Recon dot. Destroyed instantly. And they should know that there's plenty of players down C long. Since there's nobody Garage or CT, they will have no choice but to try and stick it. But Kohli's flank comes in a bit late. And now Fox doesn't even have an avenue to escape. He will most likely run into Kohli. The timing is very unfortunate and he doesn't even get this save. Both the teams tied up at 5-5.
Oh, great round. A great round from Team Aster Army. They get the frags where it was necessary. And I was a little concerned why the players of Team Metal not save after they knew that the round was already lost. They just dropped their weapons in the process. And Aster are happy to play the next round because it is just pistols all around the board. So Metal will play with a Marshall, a Stinger, another Stinger, and a couple of Sheriffs too. So not the best possible buy, but let's see if they're able to make it work or not.
Double Marshalls, double the Hopium. Can MLT Esports get the edge over here? They haven't aggressed out of A too often, and whenever they have, they didn't really find that much success. Not the best flash. They can do better. Kishi spots out
Yes, that's
double
the
and easy spray down for him. Well, this should be a good cleanup for Aster Army. And that's one good thing about Aster Army now, isn't it? They almost always keep it clean whenever Metal is on an eco.
Placing
And
swarm
Marzel
grenade.
always shows presence towards this B side. So it is like you really cannot leave B out of equation. And let's see the Aster. They are executing into this A side. The players have already flashed in. Fox trying to be a hero. Aduka is just playing another game at this point in time. He is just jumping over Fox, and even though Fox finds him, Doxer is ready with the trade and Easy has been spotted too. That's another Aster round. They should get this 6th one in the bag.
It is quite funny to watch Aduka make all those moves. Yeah, he was just destined to die over there, but you're right. Every time
Last
Metal Esports
round
throw in
in a
that
half.
smoke towards the default box that stands in between shot, it is only to make sure that the player playing towards the corner of bottom graffiti gets some cover. And Aduka has a good way to clear that angle out. Although he doesn't really get the frag this time, he baits out Fox into a very vulnerable spot where he can get sprayed down by the rest of the team. Aster Army take the lead. Let's see if this is indeed a 6-all half, or Metal Esports will relinquish the lead to Aster Army. They do have the Hunter Spirit to deny the spike plant somehow, and in case a retake situation does ensue, the Cosmic Divide might just help them cut some angles. But the shadows are committed. Kohli already cancelled his ultimate, gets a lot of information which allows Aduka to continue snapping through. And the recon gets Aduka a second one. Easy didn't even see his enemy. And neither did Aduka, but he can still get those frags. The spike plant will be delayed for the time being. If Jay can get another one through the Hunter's Fury, that would be wonderful. But it doesn't make their job easier at all. Aster Army with a massive man advantage should be poised to take this round.
And then the lockdown. That's just something you cannot deal with. Jay gets a frag, yes, but then Doxer trades it out. Tricky was nowhere around that area, and even Kakarot has to vacate garage. Now the Cosmic Divide will be thrown in, but Doxer exactly knows from where Kakarot is approaching. And then Tricky with that operator does not even get one. We talked about this, right? 4-1 start for Medal. They just lose the momentum. They just lose the momentum mid-game. And 5 rounds back-to-back for the side of Team Aster Army. And they end the half 7-5.
Well played by Aster Army. The game was really competitive at one point, with Metal Esports making plenty of thrifties work in their favor. The way they stole momentum away from Aster Army at the start of the game itself kind of made you feel that Metal Esports are in it to win it. And they were looking really comfortable at that point as well, right? They were smiling, they were really happy about the way the game was going. But Aster Army can fire right back at them. Let's see if they can win this map in the second half. We'll see you on the other side of this break.
Can't feel my wings, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
Bro, fridge meat के लिए, heat के लिए नहीं. Bro, this graphics card is making my frames drop. Come with me if you want to game.
The all-new Omen 16 with advanced Tempest cooling technology, now with 5 heat pipes and 4 thermal outlets. The Omen 16 with 12th Gen Intel Core i7 processor to make you forget your frame drops.
Now that's cool.
Game on with Tempest cooling.
Presenting Hyundai i20 N-Line. It's time to play.
Yes, I'm a Gen Z. Or should I say, the Gen X. And I don't let fear hold me back from doing anything. I choose to move fearlessly to it all.
Hey buddy, we need you to trim your beard for this next scene.
What? Okay, fine, I'll admit it. I move fearlessly in most things, but I draw the line here. What if I Nico cut myself?
Try this.
Phillips.
Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
Welcome back to NODWIN Valorant Challengers South Asia. Driven by Hyundai, and our styling partner is Philips One Blade. Speaking of which, you can actually win yourself a Philips One Blade by scanning that QR code. Go ahead and scan it out for a chance to win. Speaking of winning, Aster Army so far has a tiny lead. Although you can never guarantee if they'll be able to keep it, given the way that MLT Esports are surprising them on every single turn.
Oh, let's see a pistol round. A very important pistol round for Team Metal to win, so that they're able to at least equalize the scoreline. Although the read from Aster is also there. You have two players outside A lane, which will join the fight as soon as they see everything happening outside A. The stun and dash outside C will also pull some rotations off Team Metal Esports. Two of the players still stand outside C trying to clear that position out. And Aster, they also slowly and steadily start rotating to a different region. Although they really have no reason to do so, and this Jay's drone should at least keep at least two players of Aster on this side. Because look at this, how much space Tricky had in the previous round. Although they are clearing everything out C long this time around, and Metal, if they go C, they'll find it completely empty.
Yeah, good maneuvers by MLT Esports. Avoiding Aster Army like the plague. They get into the site without any resistance, and this should be a clean, easy plant. Aster Army aren't even beginning the retake yet. The only person close enough so far is Atuka, as he waits for the rest of his teammates to arrive. Oh, this is quite an interesting approach. They're going to go all the way down grass and hope to flank around, but Jay is supposed to hold them at bay. He is also having the backup of Kakarot, who gets blinded for the time being, and Kohli's finally able to get at least one frag under his belt. But that's about it. The rest of his forces have fallen, and Doxer has way too tall of a task. Nice shot onto Kakarot. Can he double up? Never mind. There's just way too much heat to handle.
Another close game awaits, I think. Another close game, Crepes, because Metal winning the pistol. Metal should on paper be able to win the follow-up round 2. And then maybe show us another overtime, a second overtime into the series. And yes, as you pointed out, I mean, the retake denial from Metal, or the read from Metal, was just too good. They knew the retake is going to happen from garage area. To their luck, they found 3 players in that position. Took down every one of them, and are easily able to get the round on the back of it.
Well, that's a good start for MLT Esports at the very least. And they have quite a lot of diverse weapons. The Bulldog, 2 Phantoms. I would have expected them to go for Sheriffs or maybe even Spectres, but nope, they are going in for the big guns right away. They want to avoid any chances of Aster Army bringing it back. So they're going to keep their distance and fight at range. Control smoke deployed by Kakarot just to get them some control all day long, and the scans revealed nothing. They know that Aster Army on these eco rounds like going for these gamble stacks. They also would have expected a gamble push out. That's partially why they were being very careful on that A lobby area. But if they're going to go into it the C side without any information, it will be a disaster. It's a massive stack. MLT Esports are about to walk into a trap. And the front line will get everybody. Oh my lord, Tricky's already dispatched out. The Classics really singing the songs of death right now. Ezzy and Kakarot somehow able to retreat, and they escape their fate. Malta trying to cut off the rotation.
Oh, he has been spotted.
30
and then
seconds
stunned too. But do you challenge him is the question. No, Kakarot just sits behind, just waits. Make sure Marzel is not able to flank out. But look at this, Doxer is already slipped into the side. Does he know there's a player backside? He does not, and Fox snaps onto the head of Doxer and takes away the rifle that was present for the players of Team Aster to work with. And now Kohli's flank is also noted down. Marzel won't even get anything, and we thought that the round might just fall, but through some spam, through some lucky frags, Metal still are able to win the round.
Good stuff by MLT Esports. They tie up the scoreline, but now the real acid test begins. Aster Army have the big guns. MLT Esports, they still have plenty of weaponry from the previous round. They don't take too many losses on the way in. But they will need to position these weapons accordingly. Fox once again ready for a stun. I'm sorry, not Fox. Kishi ready for a stun out towards a shot, but there's no follow-up on the back of it. The only person who's pushing out is Aduka. And Easy's gonna be responsible for marking this one, but Tricky heads straight inside. Ahead of his own cloud burst, Marzel intercepts him. He almost got the frag onto Fox as well, but they have put down this one-way smoke towards C-Link, which stops anyone from coming inside. Jay and Kakarot go way beyond their safe zone, and they're able to get the frags converted. Kakarot survives that paranoia. There's a flank coming in from Aduka as well, and Kohli's position has already been revealed. But look at the push out from Metal all the way towards A-Link. Kohli snaps on, and now it's back to a 2v2. Somehow Aduka needs to make these moves. He doesn't know where Kakarot is. As soon as the cloudburst fades away, Kakarot gets the better of him. It's all down to Kohli. His position was already revealed, and the teleport will sign his death warrant. MLT Esports hold on to the advantage. Aster Army devolved this round, send it spiraling into a state of chaos, but Metal keep their calm and their cool.
Oh my god, what a close round. But the good thing is they are able to win the bonus too. So Metal, they will find another round on the back of it, because I don't think so they Aster need to purchase into the next round. And Kohli, yes, the Stevie was a little bit too overcooked, I'd say, but it was a good attempt. You knew there was a player down, so you wanted to break the crossfire and went in for a play, did not work out at all. Another ace tag from the side of Team Aster Army. But by the looks of it, Medal is heading towards the C side. And rightfully so, because C is a place where you, if you're able to get through the choke point, it is a very easy side to convert on. Plus the retake is also very difficult to facilitate on the C side.
It's
now,
so
tricky,
surprising to see that MLT Esports are able to avoid Aster stacks every single time. Like, it happens once, I can understand it's a coincidence, but they walk into the C sites and A sites every time they're empty. It's happening a bit too often to be a coincidence now. Metal's reads are fantastic, and Ezzy's lurking around so wonderfully. We saw Marzel pull off something similar every time he was playing towards attacking spawn and just holding back the flankers, but now Ezzy is returning the favor by doing the exact same thing.
Kohli left all alone, trying to hide in his smoke, but yeah, will be essentially spammed out. 10 HP is all that remains and does not even get the frag onto Tricky. MLT Esports, good rounds on the board. That is the 9th one. And now Aster will have that opportunity to buy into that operator. And let's see if they can make any difference or not. Because still now all these executes from Team MLT Esports have just been very, very flawless.
Yeah, they've been moving flawlessly, even moving fearlessly to some extent. And why wouldn't they be moving fearlessly? Of course, they have been avoiding all the Aster Army stacks. Doing it so well. 4 rounds in a row for MLT Esports as they overtake Aster Army, and that's the perfect cue to call a tactical timeout. Mandalik realizes that the early aggression from Aster Army does get them a lot of information, but still, it doesn't really stop MLT Esports from entering the site, who have actually been finding these plants a bit too often, without any problems at all. Whether it's towards the C side or A side, even if they try to go towards B, their execute seems a little dicey to some extent. But then MLT Esports extend all the way in towards A-Link and C-Link as well. They fight from backside, and this leaves Aster Army no room to mount a retake from, especially towards that B side. If this pattern is repeated towards any of the other sides of the map as well, then maybe Aster Army can start mounting a little bit of a counter. Maybe they can start punishing these... I can't even call it over aggression from MLT Esports now, can I? It's very calculated. They always double peek, triple peek on the back of it. But maybe if Aster Army can see that aggression coming in, they can somehow prop up a counter. But so far, there seems to be no coherent pattern that Aster Army can decipher.
That's just beautiful. They are pushing that operator far back, and now they loaded it too. Jay, although the outdoor will be disturbed, and Ricky had that opportunity, should have hit the shot, but it won't matter. Now the lockdown has been thrown in, a lot of utility being chucked at it to destroy, and they will be able to get rid of it.
The shock darts and the aftershock.
Look at this. They've already fallen towards CT. So essentially, they have this side. They just don't know it.
Yeah, but they need to pop the smokes in order to do something.
You are divided.
Actually, never mind. They're gonna do something even better. They pop the Cosmic Divide. Aduka tries to play ahead of it, hoping that the AWP will be able to get him something. He has a tiny gap available, and Tricky realizes it. Throws in the Cloudburst to give him an extra bit of cover, but no! It's a rare miss from Aduka. That's what happens when you jiggle in between that Cosmic Divides. You can never be sure when your shot lands and when it doesn't. At least Aster Army now have all 5 players alive, so they will throw in that Paranoia to break the crossfire between Graffiti and Hell player. Aduka continues to strike from above, and now it's time for them to flood in from CT. Tricky holding the base. Kohli and Doxer ramming right through it. It's up to Fox to somehow line them up, and they almost did, but Doxer is just too powerful. Kakarot has to play for time, but there's way too much for Aster Army to work with, so he will have to peek them at some point. Smoke thrown in for extra measure. He still has the lineup. He still lines up both of them. What on earth is this clutch?
It does not save the rifle, but look at the economy for medal. My god, what a round to win. 5 rounds back to back for team medal in this half, and they are looking unstoppable. What is the call here from Aster Army? Do they force? Do they save? I do not have a clue. Doxer is purchasing in. Kohli is purchasing in. You also have Kishi with the Phantom and the half shield. Aduka will play on the blades, but what about Marcel?
Never lose sight.
He has a Sheriff and a half shield. Finally purchases into a Bulldog. If Aster lose this, they will essentially lose the whole game because of the money situation. And they are going very quick. All the nice miss. And Jay connects the shorty. A disaster strikes for the players of Team Aster Army. And they find themselves in the depths of defeat. Although Kohli has a say in it. He's able to get one and has the C-long area under control. What is the adaptation from Metal? They throw on Rolling Thunder CT? No way. They do it. They take control. They are pushing through their spawn and take down Kishi. The second player Doxer, not spotted, not noted, doesn't need to be. Kohli sneaks to the side, but then the timing. And Metal close out the round. No more money left. It is just Aduka with 1600 credits who might be able to purchase into the round. But Medal are 2 rounds away from closing and winning their first game in the whole split.
This would be an amazing moment for MLT Esports. They've strung together 6 rounds in a row to make this comeback happen. Not relinquishing a single round to Aster Army in this entire half. And Aster Army are doing everything that they can. On eco rounds, they go for stacks, which are avoided by Medal. On these buy rounds, they start aggroing out of A main, which is being read. And this time, even the push out from Kohli was perfect. He was able to get control of C-Long, which on paper should have really pressured MLT Esports and stopped them from planting on the C side. But what did they do in return? They throw in the body rolling thunder and go all the way into its defender spawn. And this time, there's no stopping Tricky. He's up there. Finally, Kohli's Paranoia is able to get him something. And once again, he tries to pull off the move which he did in the previous game from where he was able to get the ace. But this time, that pussy also won't work. The hunt is fully thrown in for good measure, along with everybody from MLT Esports descending upon the seaside, leaves Aster Army defenseless.
Now Aster, they just hit the max bonus. Max loss bonus. Oh my god. 7-5, huh? And Medal say, yeah, 5 rounds more than enough for us. We've got 7 lined up, back to back in our favor. And Aster, they do start a comeback on by winning Fracture, but this time around they won't be able to close it out. It is Team Medal, I think, who will be able to win the game overall. This time an operator for Tricky. Let's see if that operator gets fed or something like that, because I do see Dogs shift walking towards a shot, and as soon as he peeks, he's a dead man. But does he peek is the main question. For now, disciplined. For now, just holding that off angle. Wants to get that frag and then essentially fall back.
Aduka on top, gets back to safety, and that's the opening that Aster Army needed. They avoid the op too, so Tricky won't be able to refrag this one. And this is finally a round where Aster Army hit the ground running. But they need to convert this, otherwise they'll never get off the starting blocks. And now that they have the advantage, they fall back. The ball's in the court of MLT Esports once again. And so far, they've done a really good job of racketing it back over to the other side. Can they find it once more? Drone to its C. This is just a ruse. This is just a fake. The spike is still headed towards A. And they're creeping their way inside. But look at what this one drone does. It baits out the lockdown. At least the rotations aren't fully here yet. So Doxer can still hold the ground. Even Aduka's positioned in prime place. And this is finally Aster Army hitting them back. But is it too little too late? MLT Esports already have map point. And Aster Army need to put together so many rounds in a row. Oh, that's actually smart. He throws away the op.
10 seconds
Like, if
left.
I can't carry it forward, then you won't carry it forward either. Get it out of map geometry. Get it out of the way.
Does Muzzle see that op? Oh, no one does. It's just out of line of sight, I think, for all of these players. But hey, why the sudden change of the pace that team Metal were playing with? I understand you were not able to get that first frag A shot. But then suddenly they try to explore other avenues, give Aster all those individual duels, all those 1v1 fights, and they win it all out.
But there's
Chaos is where they thrive.
Yeah, that's true. Chaos is indeed where they thrive. But still, even though this round was lost, look at the repercussions of this one. They've already drawn out a massive lockdown from Muzzle. The only other ultimate left on to Aster Army is the Rolling Thunder, which I'm pretty sure they will be doing a good job of baiting out once again. MLT Esports just threw in one drone, that's it. And it almost called in all the rotations and the lockdown for it. No, but this time Marzel's dead. The Aftershock and the Nanoswarm confirm his kill. And MLT Esports get the start they required. The shock darts to break the alarm bot, but that's okay. The alarm bot isn't the only thing marking this push. Even Ezzy himself is committed to the play. Doxer is deep behind enemy lines and he doesn't know what's about to hit him. There's a triple peek incoming. But no! It doesn't matter! Doxer mows down the lot!
Player standing.
That's the hero play they needed. Doxer always stepping up in the time of need when the moment calls upon him. And this now leaves Kakarot with it all to do. At least Marzel's dead, so the turret won't give away his position. He can continue creeping in towards the B site.
Oh, but the Rolling Thunder has been thrown into
30 seconds
no
left.
risk, no chances being taken right now, and Yaduka closes out the round, and Aster Army still survive on that 3k from Doxer. No utility, plus no one trades him out too. I mean, for a very long period of time, you left A lobby completely empty. So there should have been some sort of maybe util, or even the players could have wide swung together to trade that player, but it does not happen. And Doxer is able to line up 3, and suddenly there's a timeout being called too, because these 2 rounds will definitely put a stop to Medal's confidence.
I mean, I don't think confidence is what they were relying on in the first place. They were relying on sheer bold aggression and some really good reads from Hacker. Every time Aster Army find themselves in Nico, MLT Esports were avoiding it quite well, but in the last 2 rounds, Aster Army have been able to figure out what MLT are up to, and it's about time they do so. It's a high-stakes game for them. It's not the end of the road if Aster Army lose this, but they definitely want that top spot on their group. And if they're able to get it, they will have a massive advantage going into the playoffs. They will start a step ahead, so there is indeed a lot at stake over here. Aster now once ready to strike once again. Doxer 1 point away from his Hunter's Fury. Same with Cooley. Meanwhile, Aduka has the op, so this could be the difference maker. On the other hand, Fox and Ezzy are also a single point away from their ultimates. Ezzy maybe 2 points, but yeah. MLT Esports start quite aggressively towards A lobby. They avoid the fault line, and even though one of them gets stunned, Aster Army don't really fight them back. But MLT Esports would be wise to take it slowly. Aster have changed their killjoy setup. Usually the utility is towards either B or Garage, but this time Aster Army have made Marzel place all his gadgets on A.
An early drone too, but it won't see anything because all the players of Medal are just tucking in. Okay, oh, never mind. They saw Tricky there. And on the back of it, they know that this push can still very well come into this side. Now, Kichi is getting his util ready. And if Team Metal try to execute into the side, Aster is ready. They have a 2-man stack. They have all the utility they'll need. The smoke's being thrown in. The recon gives away the position, but Kishi just throwing all the flashes he has to deny the push. The aftershock to be thrown in too, and he gets that first frag. All the other players are isolated from each other. Now there is a double stack towards the backside. No one coming
30
short too
seconds
will be a problem for the players of Team Metal to deal with. Fox sees drops the backside, and Jay gets the frag. Kishi playing around the smoke gets dealt with, and Fox even got that frag onto Marcel. This could be GG until and unless Aduka and Kohli do something about it. Kohli's already away, and then the rolling thunder to stun Aduka down. That should be Medal winning their first series or split number 1 or split number 2.
Metal Esports on the verge of victory, and unless Aduka can pull off a miraculous 1v4, this is a done and dusted game. Jake put on the finishing blow. Congratulations to Metal Esports on winning their first series in Split 2. It is quite unfortunate that it doesn't really help their odds with playoffs, but at least they can go down with their heads held high. At least they will be able to have some smile at the end of the split. And they've denied Aster Army the top spot of their group. Aster Army faced their first defeat in this entire split. If they went undefeated, they would have been at the number 1 position on their group, but Metal Esports don't let them have that satisfaction.
Oh my god, what a game to win. Glimpses is what I'll say. Glimpses of what Metal Esports can bring to the table. And the next few tournaments are going to be interesting for this team. For sure. Very, very interesting, and we will have to look out for the next games of Team Metal Esports now.
Yeah, I'm excited to see
They
them
should
once again.
probably lock in this 5-man squad because they seem gelled up. The trades were there, the utility was there. Tricky again was being set up, although not the best possible day for Tricky, but still the team around him was also feeling very confident.
Yeah, the team was feeling really well. The reads on Haven were amazing. Both the first 2 maps were really close to comfort with several individual heroics from either side. But in the end, Haven is where it all culminated, and there you could really see that Metal Esports have done their homework. You could tell exactly why they are a team to be feared, even though you won't get to see them anytime soon again. But we look to hear from them once more. We'll break down this game with further details on the other side of this break.
Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Hit multiple wins, I get it in. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this is 7 seas. I deal with life different, make that limit squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage and say sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, just the 7 C's. I deal with life different, make that limit squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage as they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, just the 7 C's. I deal with life different, make that limit squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage as they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this the 7 C's. I deal with life different, make that limit squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage as they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this the 7 C's. I deal with life different, make that limit squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage as they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong.